4217 said, hey, what's up, Girl Scouts? What y'all doing out there in the chat and in YouTube landy? Guess what? We got some cool stuff coming on tonight, but I wanted to show y'all a little bit of something here and see what y'all thought. Wait a minute. Let me learn how to do this again. There we go. I wanted to tell y'all about this NSC shooter chassis. You know, y'all probably get tired of hearing about it. I know. But you know what? I won't back something that I don't totally stand behind. Now, I'm going to show y'all just a little short video right here. I won't be able to talk, I don't think, while we do it. So let's try it.
But I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. I tried so hard, I can't rise above it. Don't know what it is about that little gal's loving, but I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. Daddy tried to teach me courtesy, but it never sank in till that girl got a hold of me.
All right, guys. Now, if I can get that thing to do what it's doing the way it is right now, me, dumb hillbilly, new to RC redneck, anybody can make this chassis do good. This thing is a triple layer PLA plus printed chassis and skid. It's got a grill. It has a tailgate. And it has ran away. Hold on. I want to show y'all the other chassis that does not have all the stuff on it. Where the hell to do it? Well, I'm ill prepared as always, but look here. Her sandwich. Look, her sandwich come save the day. Her sandwich come save the day. Save the day. Save the day. Hey, Earl, I'll be right with you here in a second. Now, guys, got the tailgate, the cab, and this piece right here. Sorry. The top black piece and this side piece right here come off, and your chassis still there. You can work on your motor, your transmission, whatever you need to do without taking it off a truck, without taking that skid off. That's awesome. It's got a 7-degree skid. Now, of course, I put my redneckification links on it. It's 160-ish so millimeters, which y'all been around the channel very much. You know that that's what PMAX was, and that's what I like. This thing is awesome, y'all. It is, like I said, 3D printed. 3 layers of PLA. Then this piece right here is another whole piece that you can take off, work on all you want. Look here. She's even got holographic winders. Hold on. I can really show you. Oh, yep. Nope. That wasn't a good idea. Let go of me. Let go. There. But she's got winders. Except for the windshield. And look here, she's even got mirrors. All right, now, y'all know I'm not easy on equipment whatsoever, right? Well, Nothing Stock 83 and Mr. Earl were out on their own today playing around with their tiny trucks. And, well, Nothing Stock rolled his R60 and broke a metal link. Well, a few days ago, probably a week or so back, Earl was playing with the new axe that he got. Yeah, I got him over to the 4-wheel steer dark side, y'all. Yep, old Jason Earl himself. He broke an aluminum drive shaft. I'm running stock drive shafts, stock links, except for the rear redneck engineered ones. And this thing gets beat all to hell. I mean, I'm not easy on equipment, y'all. I done tore out 2 sets of X15 diff gears because of my driving. I get a tire hung, I work it, I twist it. Yeah, well, you know what that does to brass gears? There's no bueno. It does like my head. meow. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know y'all didn't really want to hear this, but there is another chassis coming out. I'm going to show you some pictures of it here in a little bit. It's called the Bullet chassis. It's more of a comp style, more like a hard park, a Prophet Texoma rig, sort of shaped like that. You know, all your main up in the front, got your real long frame coming back and arched, big arched links. And I even think he's doing a carrier bearing setup on for the train for the drive shaft. It's got like a 16-degree skid on it. Guys, it's rounded off. Whenever I say a Prophet, a Texoma, a hard park rig, I'm not meaning exactly looking like that. It's not square as son of a gun. It's round and voluptuous and smooth as baby's butt. Wait till y'all see this thing. It's pretty cool. I can't wait to get it tried out, because if my butt did this and make this thing do what it's doing, I can't wait to see what I could do with something that's even more competition oriented. You see what I'm saying? Want to say hi to everybody in the chat. I saw that there was a Woods Unknown in there. Let's see who else we got. Let's see. George Garcia. Hey, there's a West Virginia Rednecks RS in there. Wonder who he is. Hey, Bob's RC. Jason Earl. Hey, look there's that A main salesman of the month. Well, if he wasn't this past month, he better be next month. Hey, what's up, Super One-Handed? What's going on, Denny? And let's see what else we got here. We got Jason Taylor and What's in the Box. They were in here on the chat there a little bit ago. I don't know if they're still in, but howdy, y'all. Now, y'all wasn't here to talk about this daggone old toy truck. I think y'all was here to hear an interview by, oh, shoot. What is his name? I think he's from Arkansas or Alabama or... No, that's where he's from. He's from over there in the Bluegrass State, old Derby City, RC. And y'all welcome old Mr. Evan to the stage here, guys. What's up, Evan? How's it going today, brother?
Oh, pretty good. How are you
I
doing?
hear you. Your audio's a little low now compared to what it was.
Uh-oh.
There, it's coming back.
Okay.
Well, there
Okay.
I don't know. It might be on my end. What's up, Coffee Cup? Let me see. Yeah, I'm up.
Check. How's it sound?
Cash only. Yeah, it's better now. It's better now.
Good?
Okay.
All right.
And we got somebody else helping us other than the normal dude that comes and is my handler. I got my tiny redneck brother from another mother, Mr. Jason Earl. He's liable to be on the screen. He's liable to be off screen. He can do whatever he wants, but he's gonna help us out, keep me in line, and keep an eye on the chat. Hey, there's that old guy that reviews stuff up there in Alaska down there in the chat. I think his name's Jerry. Old guy review. What's up, boss man? How you doing? RC Exports Hong Kong. What's up, guys? Hey, a lot of people coming in today. Thank y'all for coming by. I appreciate it. Hopefully we can talk Evan into giving us a pretty good interview. If I'd ever shut up, I might be able to ask him some questions.
Well, yeah, you got to be silent for a minute.
I don't think that'll ever happen. So how you doing, brother?
I am good. I'm a little bit worried about this new stool I just built because it's wobbly.
Well, guys, if y'all see him go down, don't worry. Don't call an ambulance or nothing. He didn't fall off his beer stool. He ain't drunk. It's just
Unless I don't
he's
come
wanting to
back
put the
up.
stool together.
And
Hey, there's
unless
RC
I don't
Dungeon
come
in the
back up.
house, brother. Look there. There's that welder dude too. Sorry, Evan. I'm being overwhelmed here, guys. I mean, we got some cool guys on here. We got Waffles RC, Mike from out there on the left coast, and then we got my West Virginia RC brother from another mother. A Dungeon. The link's up at the very top of the chat. If you want to jump on, you're more than welcome. Dungeon's normally my co-host, but he been working his tail off, and he finally decided to take him an RC break today, and he might be a little tired. I think they went and did like 3 or 4 mile trail. So, But what's up, guys? I wanted to give y'all a shout out. So Evan, how long you been in this here old RC addiction? I mean, hobby.
Actually, only a little over 4 years.
4 years.
Not that.
What made you decide to get into the hobby? Little rugrats running around, or
sort of? YouTube actually kind of started it for me. My oldest son, which some of you all know, is Max.
we know Max. He's a driver, buddy.
He is. He's something else.
He is.
He's been disassembling cars for me. So that's awesome. But
disassembling them like with tools and stuff, or disassembling them out on the yard?
No, on the bench.
Unwillingly.
I'm going to show this new bench in a minute because it's just about done. But
dude, you were showing me that the other day, and I like it.
Yeah, he's been disassembling cars that like for parts, like for spare parts of stuff I've got.
Right. I had to mess with you because I disassembled them the incorrect way.
Too, yeah, that happens. So no, anyway, he was watching YouTube stuff, like a family channel where they just do stuff, and in one episode they had an RC car, and I think it was an HBX.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. And it was going really fast, and I was like, I hadn't thought about the hobby in a long time. I had RC cars from Kmart probably as a kid. They went like 5 miles an hour.
Radio Shack, Montgomery Ward style stuff.
Yeah, just toy grade things.
Right.
And then I was watching this one. I was like, man, that's fast. And I hadn't thought about RC cars in so long. I was like, that's really cool. So we got one. I think it was February of 2021. And it was a lot of fun. And then so I wanted to get a faster one and a bigger one, and
a faster one, and then a bigger one, and then a faster one, and a faster one, and then you want one to turn left and right after it goes fast.
Yes.
And then you want one that does back flips, front flips.
Yep. Drifts around corners at 60 miles an hour, all that stuff.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, y'all, but this some gun right here is what caused my turtleator addiction. Matter of fact, we named our Rollarlo Omni Terminators the same day. Like, his video popped out, and I named turtleator that day, and I was like, dude, no way. I said, really? Are you kidding me? The Goblinator and the Turtleator were named on the same day, and we both went the same sort of way on it. That was awesome.
The Goblinator is awesome.
Yeah. Yes. Man, so you've been in it 4 years, and you've done a lot of reviews on a lot of cars. Do you happen to know how many that you've done by chance?
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's like hundreds, but
yeah. No. I counted how many that I had in working condition in my Who is Derby City RC video from, I don't know, 6 or 7 months ago.
Okay, yeah, that was like
I think the
early fall.
That sounds right.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Of last year. The number was in the 60s, and that was ones that actually drive and are still operational.
Right.
A lot of them aren't. So
yeah, I've seen the way you drive. You drive like I do. Right pedal, right pedal, right pedal.
Yep.
What's up, Jay Myers? What's going on,
the wheels? I'm happy.
Hey, that's right, man. I'll tell you what. That's the reason. A lot of the people that I've interviewed starting off this podcast are the ones that I started watching to research cars. And now there's some of them like Dungeon. I watched his because I just come across his YouTube channel one day before I even got into RC cars, and it was cool. He was out trailing, had a little good music on there, and come find out. Whoa, why do I got an echo?
Yeah, I have it too.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Game off for a minute, folks. Give me just a second. Do we still have it? Nope.
I didn't hear that.
Nope. Okay. It may have been Huh. I don't know. Okay. My bad. But I was just sitting there watching, and then I started watching. I was wanting a crawler. So I started watching anything about a 4-wheel steer mini crawler. Axe 24, of course. So it was 2 FMRC Matt. It was Derby City RC, CK4, CCRX RC, Joe XO Caged, all these guys, that do the mini crawlers. And after getting a mini crawler, you get that itch, the need for speed. And I wanted something faster. Well, I come across Beyond RC, Discipline RC, whenever you all were doing the reviews on the WL Toys 12, 40, 17, and 19. And I was like, all right, I can dig these guys. I said, especially that dude from over in the bluegrass. He's a little bit cray like I am. So, yeah, I'm going to like him. And then Discipline, he's just about as crazy as you are. And then
yeah,
he's over Beyond RC.
Try to pop on here in a bit.
Hi.
Discipline's going to try to come on here in a bit.
Oh, okay, cool. And then, you got Beyond RC. He's just a little bit more prim and proper than us, but he's just as crazy as us too.
That's right. Channels for everybody.
Yeah. And then I was in one of the chats, and Sliding Sideways was live, and he said, "Here, man, I'm dropping a link in the chat. If y'all never been on, whatever," he said, "jump on." He done created a monster, folks, and it's all because Skev Sliding Sideways RC. Use that as your discount code when you go to Mofo RC. Get a little bit off. But
there you go.
Yeah. So 4 years, and you and the boys got into it.
Well, what's funny to add to that, before we had any kids, me and my wife went and got some RC trucks from Walmart, probably like the best, fastest ones you could get from there, which wasn't fast at all, and I jump cars like crazy, but even before I started YouTube, I did that too with these cheap ones. I had a ramp from my skateboard days, and we were jumping these Walmart trucks off this ramp, and eventually, obviously, they were breaking, and I was fixing them with like paper clips and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is so dumb. They break. You got to buy a new car. Well, once I found out about, how good the hobby and how good the cars are now about 4 years ago.
And what hobby grade actually meant compared to toy grade.
Yeah. And they're better, and you can buy parts. And I come from an automotive background, which we can talk about in a little while if you want to.
Right.
I was like, well, I don't work on real cars anymore. So there was this thing where, I can fix cars again, except they're small and a lot cheaper. And then I can go break them again, and it's fun.
And it's way less hard on the pocketbook. I understand. That's my deal totally. I'm with you.
Points. I'll tell you that. Knees and back problems from working on cars in my 20s. So it was good to get out of that.
Yeah. Believe me, I was working on cars at a Midas in my 20s. I understand totally.
Yeah. Fun-ish times.
Now, you got into the hobby. You started playing with trucks. How did you start doing reviews? Did you just buy your own vehicles and start reviewing them on your channel?
That's how I started. Yep.
Okay, that's how pretty much I've been doing. I know Dungeon and Jerry's Old Guy Review. That's what they do a lot of times now. They're finally getting some stuff sent to them every now and then, but they're honest. And that's a hard thing to do.
It's important to do it. But I bought several. I mean, I bought a Hollyton, which is an Amazon from DRC car. I don't have it anymore. The HBX 16890, which is a great car. The Hollyton was okay. It was brushed. And then I think after that, I bought the JLB Cheetah. The JLB Cheetah is a 10th scale car. It's actually more like a 1/8 scale. It's kind of like an Outcast. It's about the size of a 4S Outcast, and it's actually a little bit faster.
And
they're
who makes
super
it?
fast. They're awesome. JLB is the brand.
JLB.
Okay. They were some of my first videos. It's a big car. It's a ton of fun, but I found it to be very fragile. And I was like, surely surely there's cars that are better than this. I mean, it was breaking not just from crashes. I mean, you hear a lot of people say stuff like it broke just rolling through the grass. And, how's that happen? What a piece of junk. Well, this actually did that. I mean,
Wow.
the first 5 minutes I had it, a wheel nut came off. Obviously not the car's fault. Couldn't find it. It was aluminum. Magnets wouldn't find it anywhere. So I had to order it, and it took 2 weeks to get it. And then as soon as I got it, within 2 or 3 minutes, an axle broke.
Oh man.
So in that car, I mean, it's in quite a few of my videos of the beginning of my channel, and you could if you watch the videos in order, it goes from how awesome this car is, and then all of a sudden, it's been so long. It probably wasn't sudden, but it was.
It just seems sudden to you.
Then I'm doing videos. I'm like, yeah. I can't. I don't recall. Again, it's been about 4 years, but that was mostly at my old house. At my new house, I think I recorded one video with it, and then I was like, I'm done with this thing. It was a JLB Cheetah versus the rival MT10 video.
Ooh.
So that'd be a little over 2 years old.
Right.
And I think finally I said, I'm done. I haven't touched it since. It's sitting in a box with a bunch of spare parts, because I ordered a lot of spare parts for it until I found out there are cars that are better.
Right. Now, see, that's sort of what I had happen with the WL Toys 124017. They're not as high grade of a hobby grade as what I think they should be, but they're inexpensive. They do perform like they say. Sometimes it exceeded my capability of driving tiny trucks. Its performance ability did, believe that. But you can buy parts cheap for them. You know, they come loose. They don't have hex hardware a lot of times. Blah blah blah. Use Loctite. Use super glue. Don't do what I did and forget one screw, and that was the tie rod end, the steering link end, and go showing off in front of your mom out in your driveway, and you come up the knoll, and the right front tire just leaves the chat.
Yeah. Well, so one of my first. Well, no, that's not true. I think in the first few cars that I received, like for free as a sponsor, was the WL 14001, the brush version, and it broke so fast. We actually drove it inside, which was dumb because I think it was raining, and I remember it was in the basement of our old house, and I crashed it. So that's why it broke, but it broke way easier than it should have. And the last at least one WL Toys, because I haven't done one in a long time, it didn't break when it crashed a lot, but the parts are the same as the buggy, the suspension parts anyway.
Was it the 16 or the rock, the caged looking buggy, not the truggy buggy?
Yeah, more like the desert buggy, the recent one I did.
Yeah. That's actually what Princess Speed Buggy looks like now, because I took her body off, which I'll show you one day. I made a body for her too, but I found a cheap Walmart buggy, and the cage fits right on the 17, and it looks just like a 16 except stanced out like a 17. Hey, let's see here. We got Woods Unknown and Jim's RC and Bikes in the chat. We got RC Dungeons over playing. Jay Myers.
I saw Steven. You still in here, Steven?
What's that, bud?
I was seeing if Steven's still in the chat. Saw him for a minute.
Steven.
Say hi, Steven. Again, I should say.
There
he is.
Dungeon and
RC Expats.
What was that? I'm sorry. I was speaking. Oh, okay. Exports. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There he is. There he is. Hey, look there.
And hello,
that dude from over in the bluegrass knows how to type too.
I try. I'm pretty good at grammar, I think.
I'm not. And I type phonetically just like I talk. And I'm sure everybody here's seen it. Now, some of you fellers and ladies, if there are any ladies that are whatever, new to me, to my channel, this is how I talk. It's how I type. Get over it. You want to correct me? I know that Full Send RC, Waffles RC's beloved wifey, I know that she just cringes every time she sees me in a chat because she's a school teacher. And I really make sure I screw stuff up whenever she's around. But
talking about the way people talk, I get, not that often, but I get comments like, why are you screaming at me? I've actually tried to tone my voice down, but you can tell, like, I just talk loud. Everyone, my mom, I grew up with my mom telling me to be quiet. I'm right here in the car or whatever. My wife tells me the same stuff.
Did you hear my voice level change just a second ago? Mom walked into the laundry room there, and I was like, "Oh, gotta be quiet."
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, once you started getting the RCs that you were, people had the manufacturers and stuff had figured out that you were a good reviewer, that you were honest, but you weren't going to down the product, but you weren't going to not tell somebody if something broke. How did that, who all started coming in? Was it like WL Toys and then like JJRC, Banga, Besgar, MJX, stuff like that, or was it some of the higher ones?
Your internet drops out. Thanks for being here. Well, I'm pretty sure the first company to ever send me anything was DERC. If you never heard of them, DEERC.
Yeah, DEERC, like JJRC and Besgar and MJX.
Well, there's some sort of ties. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what the ties are, but I know that they're similar.
They can be. Yeah, a lot of them are copies of each other. I don't
right.
Know.
Yeah.
Everyone copies MJX now.
Yeah.
DRC copied MJX, Besgar.
14210 or whatever it was. That's the Wild. That's a bad.
Yeah.
The Besgar is a bad unit right there.
It's fast, and that came from MJX. But MJX uses parts from HBX.
Right.
Who came up with it first? I don't know. But DRC was pretty early on. And after that, might have gone straight into Banggood. And I think I reached out to them to ask if they were interested. And
guys, he didn't take a shower today. So he's got flies around that he's swatting. So, he had to open up his garage door so that we could get interweb service. So he's got beetles and mosquitoes and everything flying at him. So don't think he's going one over the cuckoo's nest. He actually probably does have bugs flying around.
And I did shower. I smell very fresh.
I know. Well, see, I knew you was from Kentucky. I just didn't know if you was from southeastern Kentucky or western Kentucky or what, depending on what region you were in, depending on what day you took a shower.
That's true. Tuesdays.
I kid. I lived in South Williamson, Kentucky for a long time, right across the border, and in Lexington. And I've been all over that state. Now you're more toward west of Lexington, east of St. Louis and Bowling Green and stuff, right there in the middle, central Kentucky, right? Ish. I ain't asking for your address. I don't want to come over and try to steal your race cars or nothing, but just get in the general area.
Yeah, north central, basically.
Okay.
There's only one.
I got you.
Well, there's probably another Derby city out there, but there's only one in Kentucky, I think. It's Louisville.
Yep. Well, you got the Red Mile in Lexington, but that's not a Derby, So
yeah, a lot of people don't know the Kentucky Derby is held here. That's why it's called Derby City. There's other names, but River City is another one. But Derby, I don't know. That wasn't the original name of the channel, though.
Really? What was the original name?
Gearhead Playground.
Gearhead Playground.
Yep, because it wasn't going to be only RC. It was going to be. I filmed like a lot of Hot Wheels stuff actually with my kids. It was going to be like just a bunch of stuff I did with them, but we ended up just liking RC cars a lot, so we did that instead.
Right. Yeah. See, mine, the name of my channel, it was my Facebook page forever. I started it because I was bored at work one day.
Mhm.
And by the end of a year's time, I had over 5,000 followers. Just click, post, paste, you know.
Nice.
So I just transferred that name over onto my YouTube channel because it's hard to tell what kind of stuff I'm going to get into. Not just RCs. It just happens to be it right now. The part that the squishy stuff behind my eyes is locked on is tiny trucks and tiny truck stuff. But yeah, read right there where oh, she can read it. Well, Waffle's saying about his wife being able to read my grammaric concoctions.
If she's a school teacher, she can definitely read some bad grammar.
Oh yeah.
My kids show me what they write down, and I'm like, how in the world did your teacher know that's what it says?
Right.
I can't
tell. Now, so you just started out as just one-to-one stuff, RC stuff, whatever heck you was doing that day and felt like filming it. And
I didn't do any one-to-one stuff on the channel.
Okay.
The very first video was RC, and then probably like the second and third one, and then I filmed a couple of Hot Wheels shorts. One of them might even still be on there. I think I removed. Yeah, I think I removed one or two. But I think I left one short. I could be wrong, but yeah. So very little non-RC was ever put on the channel at all. We latched onto that pretty quickly, and then Max started school, so he hasn't been on it as much. And my other kids are on it sometimes too, but Summer's about to start, so he'll probably be in a lot more. But he also has more friends around the neighborhood now.
Well, that just means more kids come over and tear up your tiny trucks.
Oh no, they won't.
I will beat me a kid.
Yeah, I've let a few. I've let a few of them drive stuff, but nothing fast because I mean they could crash into my pool and dent the side. Yep.
Yeah, I saw that backyard there, and I was going to say it. I wouldn't even trust my driving in your backyard with that pool.
Yeah, the pool.
Really, dude. I mean, I'm not a very good driver. I've got people that are around in the chat and in the back on backstage that can verify that. Matter of fact, they was just telling me that about an hour and a half before the show today. They was giving me some hell, which I deserved it. I wasn't driving worth of shit. But
there you go. It takes practice.
So you said something earlier about being into the one-to-one automotive game back in your 20s. What kind of automotive work do you do? Just mechanic work, or did you work for like a plant, or?
No, it was mechanic work. I went to school for it actually.
You went to the learning place and learned how to do it.
I learned it.
Well, I told that learning fella he didn't know what he was talking about. Chevrolet was not a manufacturer of vehicles in the United States. That's what I told him.
Well, yeah, I went to a regular college for a bit, and it's where I met my wife. But after a while, I was like, I don't know why I'm here. This isn't interesting me. This isn't what I think I want to do. This is all boring.
Right. Did you happen to, what was you going to try majoring in when you were in college?
Just business,
Business,
and I own a business now, but I was just gonna do, I didn't know, but I was majoring in business, but I didn't really know for sure what I was going to do.
Right.
and so met my wife, and I ended up dropping out of there to go to the technical college and learn automotive.
Now, which technical school did you go to?
JCTC, Jefferson.
JCTC, yeah.
College.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. My cousin went up to Lima, up there to, I had it right there in my head. Nashville, or not Nashville Diesel Mechanic School, that's in Nashville. Well, he went up to Lima, Ohio, and took his diesel class and stuff. I know a few people that have went to Nashville Diesel Mechanic School. My mechanic knowledge, whenever I was in my 20s, I worked at a Midas, learning to do brakes and exhaust and stuff, which that was pretty cool, learning mandrel bend pipe. But all my knowledge was from having to work on it myself, underneath the shade tree,
Yeah.
using the log as a jack stand. By the way, guys, I'm going to start selling those jacks. Excuse me, those hillbilly jack stands pretty soon. I'm going to be doing 1/10 and 24s. So, you know, I learned how to weld on galvanized stainless steel or whatever the exhaust 2.5-inch exhaust pipe is. That's how I learned how to MIG weld. Not the ideal way to learn how to weld. I'll go ahead and tell you.
I've never welded ever in my life.
It's a cool, fun thing to do once you figure out how to do it. It really is.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'd like to. There's so many cheap welders out there now. Why not? Eventually, I will.
Yeah. You go to Harbor Freight, you can get you a daggone flux core, little flux core buzz box for under $100. That will do most of the stuff that any of us are going to do. I mean, heck, Waffles is a welder guy and stuff, and you know, I mean, even the stuff he works on is thin enough that you could use one of those little flux core buzz boxes. It may not look as good as his do, you know, but
yeah. I mean, if I got one, it would be mostly for RC projects, at least, you know, for now. I mean, I want a real car project one day, but I don't have one now.
Right. I understand that totally. And I know, you know, what kind of work you're doing now is you doing a little bit of construction work and stuff, right?
I wouldn't call it construction. It's just handyman stuff. So
handyman stuff. Well, that's still construction because, you know,
it is, but I'm not
being in Louisville, there's a heck of a market for it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there was in Lexington.
I mean,
because
every day you can go driving and you'll see a new business you've never heard of.
Right.
So yeah, all the time. Lots of them.
I was running a construction company for the paternal half of my DNA, and it was banging from Lexington all the way down into Richmond, all the way up into Georgetown, all the way, to, Ritchie and Tucker County, West Virginia. From there, all the way to just a little bit west of Lexington. But there, and from Lexington east, we covered it and did it, you know. And there was a lot of market for all of it. But Lexington was booming back 2007 to 2015, somewhere around in there, and I heard Louisville was the same way.
When I started, I mean, there was not many businesses who did small things. I mean, you could find full, you know, general contractors everywhere, but my stuff,
but there weren't handymen. You know, somebody come clean your gutters out to fix a front stoop board, or you know, which in my case, I'm a plaster and drywall repair specialist. I lifetime guarantee any crack I fix in a home. I lifetime guarantee it. And no, I'm not going to tell you how to do it.
Nice.
But I've never in 30 years ever had to come back on a job because of it cracking. Ha ha! What do we got? We got old Mr. Brett Allen in the chat. What's up, Bowen? That's my dude right there. We got Ken Skillma Performance in the chat too. What's up, guys? Thank y'all for stopping by. Hey, I'll tell you what, guys. I appreciate all the support, and I know it's because I got, you know, I'm starting to get some bigger channels on here that, you know, put out better content than I do, you know, because
I mean, see any.
We got guys like this, Matt from 2FM, XO Cage, Waffles, you know, all you big guys. And don't take us wrong, guys. We got Ballin', man. I mean, shoot, he had to make another Facebook page just because his other one was full up. That's wild, you know what I mean? But you got to put paddle tars on it, ain't that right, Brett? Now, I'm going to open up the chat here for some questions. Is there anything that you want to talk about before I do that, Evan? Was there, you was wanting to show us your workbench in the new area you've been working on, wasn't you? Or you want to do that later? We can. It's up to you.
It doesn't matter. We can do it whenever. We can
you just let me know whenever you want to. And then, guys, y'all in the chat, if y'all got a question for Evan, go ahead and start getting them in, and I will get to them best I can after he gets done whatever he's wanting to show us, because I've already seen it, guys, and I'll tell you what, He has upgraded his RC compound. Let's put it that way. Compared to what he had, he's got twice as much room to work.
It was
I mean,
falling
really.
behind in prettiness and functionality, that's for sure. So, well, you didn't see that the other day during our practice. That's new. It's
Oh,
going to be bigger. It's temporary.
just a moment. Let me solo you out there, sir, because it makes it so much easier for them to see and for me to see because I'm sitting pretty good pretty good ways away.
Is that backwards?
No, it's actually straight.
All right,
That is pretty cool, man. I like that. No, I did not see that. Whoa, look at that bench.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't notice that was the kind of stool that you were working on. Those stools right there rock.
It's a good stool, but it's wobbly. I'm a little
Is
worried.
it?
Yeah. And
That's because the handyman put it together, not a mechanic.
That's right.
What's up, Sleek? Man, I like it, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot better. And I got some background stuff.
Hey, what is? Oh, look, there's a unicorn. Lucky you.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
That was a fun video.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that one yesterday, the mini corn or whatever you was calling it, that thing's pretty
the mini
sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I was very surprised with that car as it was going and the way it was handling. I mean, wow.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
And now you said that this is who's that one made by?
Cam Tom.
Okay. And what's it going to be going for whenever they bring it out, or is it already out?
It's already out.
Oh, it is.
That one, when I checked, it was $63, and when I checked it yesterday, it was $59.
No shot.
Yeah, and then I think in what was it? Maybe 15% off. In the description of that video, she gave me a 15% off coupon. So it's right now. Cool. I think it's $59 and then 15% off.
So you're looking at $45 plus tax and shipping and stuff. I mean, dude, that's one heck of an RC car for that kind of money.
And it looks pretty darn similar to a felony. I mean, it's very. I don't have.
Yeah, it's probably close enough that it could be called a felony for looking so much like a felony.
I had one version of my thumbnail where instead of calling it mini felony, I called it misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor. There you go.
Yeah, but I didn't go with that one.
Right.
So
now, 10 scale performance. You're exactly right, brother. Right there. That's exactly right. Brett, you are too, man. That's this RC community's actually made me have their outlook on the human race as a total.
Yes, mostly.
Because seriously, if it wasn't for all you guys in the chat and Evan and the guys that I've been lucky enough to get to interview, I wouldn't be doing this. I never figured I'd ever have 20 subscribers, let alone 320. And yeah, I started back in last June. I'm not trying to be, to go viral all of a sudden. I want to do it the way I'm doing it and learn, and y'all get to figure it out with me. Poor fuckers. I mean, thanks for the support, but man, y'all put up with some bad content every now and then. I'm telling you, especially back whenever I first started, man, because my ADD kicks and my shakes. You go watch some of them first videos, man. It's like I needed stabilization for everything.
Anytime I go back just to watch an old video, it's crazy. You don't really realize how far you've come and just how much better your content is until for me anyway, until you go back and watch your old stuff. I don't know. For one, at my old house, I was in my basement, literally directly under where my twins sleep. And at the time they were not even one yet. So I had to be quiet.
Well, see, that's go ahead. I want to rebuttal that here in a minute, but go ahead, finish that. What you got?
That was mostly it. I had to be really quiet. Not to mention, like if they were literally above me if my wife was in bed, she was like right there, right on the other side of that wall that was directly above me. So I couldn't talk loud, which killed me. And I couldn't use tools. I mean, because at that age, they're twins sleeping in the same room. So if one of them woke up because I was being loud, the other one would wake up. They'd both be screaming. My hands were dirty, probably from working on stuff, and I'd have to go up and help, make them be happy again. And so I don't remember what we were even talking about, but
oh God, I'm rubbing off on you.
Somebody
help him.
Stop that. But hey, we have a few questions.
Let's see. I know that Steve put one in there. Let me scroll back up here and find it.
Steven asked a question. Yeah. So Tom Lee RC just did.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Man, Phil the long. He did it with the MJX and fiberglass skis. Who'd have thunk fiberglass skis?
I know that
silly Brett over there across the pond. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah, that worked really well, and
it did. I couldn't believe it. It survived that daggone them 2 jumps.
I know,
especially the first one, man, because he was on it, throttle down.
I know.
Hey, y'all watch this.
That was watching it drift around.
Yeah.
So I have a video that I'm working on. It'll still be a couple weeks at least, but a video I'm working on with some weird things, more than just one. But and I drove one of them today, and it was good.
He said weird things.
Yeah, I like doing weird things, but they're very interesting stuff. I'm excited to get that one out, but I've only driven 2 out of the 5 projects in this video. But it's quite irregular is one word I'd use. But I'm excited about it.
I love the way you put stuff too, because hey, I would do it in hillbilly slang term, but you do it very, very, very PG well. I wanted to let you know that. My channel's not PG whatsoever. Evans does an awesome job doing it.
Yeah, I know there's kids that watch me and that with their parents, so I try to keep it PG. I throw in some innuendos every now and then, but I can't help myself. But
that last time your granny did a cameo, man, you was a little racy there, bud.
That was the first time. The last time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was the first
so
time.
bad.
Yeah, granny panties.
She's up in the attic.
That I loved it. I saw that. I saw Granny come out on that video, because I'd seen what's your skeleton's name?
He doesn't have an official name yet. I've been calling him Bone Boy.
Bone Boy.
Yeah. But that's not official yet.
Yeah. We're gonna have to come up with something for that.
I know.
Yeah, but I remember seeing him, and then I saw Granny come out, dude, and I was just like, oh my God, no, he didn't. Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah. I told you
I'm shave your legs, by the way.
Granny doesn't do that. So that was in, if anyone's missed it, that was in my Relarlo rally car video, which things got weird, and that's how things need to go sometimes. But see, I lost my train of thought again. Why was I saying that? I had a reason. You're rubbing off on me bad.
Hold on.
But
Alex, what the hell was he talking about?
Yeah, why was I getting there? Where was I going?
I'm a little lost at the moment myself because I was trying to
this right here. He's always paying attention. By the way, Evan, Alex, Evan. This is my brother from another mother, Evan. He's the one that always keeps me in line and helps me out the best he can. And he usually pays attention, but I threw him on the spot right there, and I wanted to. Did you see it, Grid? I love it. I got him good on that one. I got him good. All right, I'll take you back off. If you want back on, just let me know. I had to do it. See, I forgot he did it to himself. Dang, he normally remembers. He's like my interpreter. Whenever my head starts doing that, he keeps me in track, keeps me in line. If he was any
Nice.
prettier, I'd probably marry him, but
That,
he's got him a good old lady too. So, you know,
yeah,
I kid,
he's taken. Sorry.
I kid.
But yeah, that's the video we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I remember
yeah,
where I was
we
going
talked
with it
about
now.
Granny. And,
Yeah, Granny gets a little carried away with a leaf blower. Somebody, yeah, somebody commented on that video too much.
oh,
I
yeah.
don't want to give anything away, but he commented too much. It had to do with Granny, but not the car. But I commented on there. You can always turn down the throttle if you want to, if the car's too much for it. And
Oh,
I didn't
burn.
respond. That's not what he
Dude,
meant.
that's a burn.
That's
I mean,
not
that's
what he
good.
meant.
That's real good.
And it wasn't rude either, you know. Let's see. 12S
Hey, in-scale
infraction.
performance be
I
good, brother.
have
And
trouble
he's got one of them there Relarlo Omni Terminators. He's got one that's like can you say overpowered? Have you seen any of his stuff?
Who'd you
He's
say?
10 scale performance.
Yeah, I have. It's been a while because I literally do
Yeah.
not get a chance to watch videos, but I have.
Right.
Yes, I know you also watch and comment on my videos. I appreciate that. I have seen some of your speed runs. Very good stuff.
Dude.
You've been working.
Yeah.
You also got the ROG 1 recently too, I believe.
Yeah. That's the one I was getting ready to say that he really overpowered that little sucker.
Yeah.
Because it was already overpowered for its wheelbase.
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty fun car. People are having issues. I mean, I had issues in my video, but they've supposedly fixed at least a lot of that.
What was with the cogging?
No, I didn't have any cogging issues with the ROG 1. I had physical breakage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those,
Nothing. An axle bent or broke. People were breaking.
yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
I broke a hinge pin and one other thing.
You had a diff hub or diff cup or something too, wasn't it, on the Rogue One, or was that on the Terminator? Or I could be just totally putting somebody else's video in yours.
I think that's what it is.
Well, that's possible. Hi, I'm Nathan. I fudge up every now and then.
It happens.
So,
yeah.
Go ahead, bub.
No, I didn't have anything.
Okay. What I'm wondering is,
you're welcome.
You got into the MJX and stuff. How long did it take before Relarlo came along, or maybe Arma or any of them? You had any of them come out too awful much? I mean, offer anything or
Relarlo? Yes, Relarlo sent me. I don't have it anymore. But they sent me a
dungeon.
A little bye. Thanks for staying. They sent me a little 16th or 14th scale brushed blue car. It was really slow. I mean, it was like one of the first things they came out with. So it wasn't impressive really, but it wasn't bad for what it was, I guess. But
right.
They sent me that, and then they started taking off pretty quickly for some reason, because at first they didn't do anything groundbreaking. I think they decided later on that they wanted to be different, and they've done a really good job with that.
Hey, I love the way they're doing stuff, man. And Jerry's Old Guy Review, he is the Relarlo spokesman of the year now. I think he's getting Annie and Andy and all of them girls, and he's just making them all his harem, because I'm kidding, Jerry. I'm kidding.
Well, yeah, they sent me that, and then they started getting bigger, and then I think I was around like 2,000 subscribers, and they sent me that 14th scale buggy, the first one they came out with, which was really just a WL Toys. But the thing is, I think they changed the plastics because it was way more durable than the WL Toys version, and I got it to, I think, 55 miles an hour on my street, which is scary.
Yeah. I got the 1240 17
so up that, and then they came out with,
excuse me, like 50 mile an hour on the provided 2S 2200 2200 mile 2S. I got almost 50 mile an hour on.
Nice.
I was like,
yeah, mine was definitely 3S. Yeah, it was. But yeah,
Yeah, well,
55
see,
miles an hour.
its performance abilities totally outweighed my driving tiny truck's abilities on 2S. I put it on 3S. I drove it up the street once. I said, nope, take that some bitch back out because I ain't wanting to spend any
Yeah.
more time working on this truck anymore this week.
Yeah.
Because I knew that
But
Fit was going to hit
Rolalo,
the fan right there.
they yeah, it's fast. It's fast for what it is.
Yeah.
But then I
And
don't remember what it was. They came out with
oh no,
uh-oh.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I was probably talking to myself or one of these 5 up in here.
Only 5.
That happens sometimes.
So
now
well,
Rolalo and WL Toys are, I can't say that they're intertwined, but there are some buggies that are mixed in between parts wise, right?
the story, looking at it from my point of view, they were copying, or I don't know if they were copying or if they were actually getting WL Toys parts. Again, Rolalo's parts seemed way better, but they were exactly like WL Toys parts. And then out of nowhere, it was I guess it was the AKs, the speed cars. I think those might have been the first ones they made that weren't WL Toys cars.
Based.
So they're not intertwined at all anymore, as far as I know. I mean, they're way, way different. But yeah, to go back to what you were saying, Rolalo reached out, but then they kind of stopped until I hit like 10,000 subscribers. They don't really want to deal with you unless you have that. But yeah, I mean, it's been good. And Rolalo, I mean, to get this out there, you know, almost every company that sends you a car, they don't ask for you to say certain things. They don't give you a script. A lot of people on Facebook seems to be, especially when talking about cars, or they had their problem, but all the reviews were good. They're like, they must be scripted. No, I've never been given a script. And if I was, I wouldn't do it. I would not do a script. I'm going to make my videos the way I want to. Every now and then they'll say, can you mention these points? I mean, these strong points on the car.
Yeah, you got bullet points that they want you to hit. What's new to the chassis, what's new with the company, what's big and happening, you know, I understand that.
Most of the time they don't even do that. Some companies do, most of them don't. But
they send you the cars to here, let her be.
Rolalo literally just says, we're looking for your honest review.
That's awesome.
You know, if something happens, they might say something like, that was a little bit of a big jump. You know, I usually bring that up though. I feel like I'm trying to be fair to the car, because you have to be. I mean, you can't jump it to the moon and then say,
but you're also fair to the customer too, because there are people that are going to go out there and do worse than what you're doing to the car, but you put them through a pretty good set of, you know, hoops to do it.
Yeah, and if you do that stuff, you have to expect things are going to break, and I do that, and then I show what breaks, and I'll say something like I was probably a little harsh on it, but some people are going to be that way.
But if you're talking about that Grello Omni Terminator alloy body, it's trash for Rolalo. Sorry guys, but that was the only thing y'all messed up on that truck. I said it. Andy, all y'all.
All the other ones are good.
I said it.
So yes, about other companies that sent me stuff. Arma Horizon sent me 2 cars about a little over a year ago. They sent me the 4S Mojave and the Vortex.
Okay.
The Mojave came first. I made that video. It was like 19 degrees out. It was really cold, and I think I broke something or bent something in that video. Showed it, no problem. You know, I think it was a shock. I was able to bend it back, and it kept working just fine. The body, I remember the body cracked in a few places.
Yeah, but it was colder than well diggers, but in Saskatoon, Michigan. You know, I mean,
we even drove it on ice in that video. I mean, it was cold.
Yeah.
So then I did a video on the Vortex. I think it was right after the Omni Terminator review, and I think it was right after. And I did that video, and the guy, the marketing guy that I was dealing with, he never said anything about it. So I sent him an email asking him a question like, hey, did you see my Vortex video? Because I broke a shock in that too, and maybe something else, but I still think that it's my favorite ARMA 3S vehicle. And I say that, and I think that's even the title. And he didn't respond.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I asked him, I was like, hey, what about an infraction? I'd really like to review an infraction, and no response. A few months later, I sent him another email, no response. And I think I sent one maybe 3 months ago. I've sent probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 at the most emails to him in the last year and got no response. So I guess they dropped
you 3 times because you showed something that happened that would normally happen in anybody else's RC situation. You wasn't hyping, you weren't harping on it. You weren't saying, oh, well, back on, blah, blah, blah. Armor, you need to do better. You need to fix this junk. I mean, you was like, hey, guys, I was driving it. It was cold. I may have not driven it as good as I should have. I broke apart. Stuff happens.
It was a very, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah,
it may have nothing to do with that. Maybe I lost my contact info and just the emails I'm sending him are getting lost. Who knows? It could have been that, but it wasn't a bad review. It was a good car, and it was just weird that I hadn't heard from him after that.
I understand that totally. I mean, and that's the thing. That's why, like I said, I started watching you guys for reviews because you were honest. You took the cars and played with them better than I do. I'm rough on them, but you all have better capabilities than I had at the time because, I quit playing with the tiny trucks back in at the latest 88 to 90, and then a year and a half ago, 2 Thanksgivings ago is whenever I got back into RCs. And it was until from that Thanksgiving till this time that next year before I got anything else. And it was faster because I was waiting on my birthday. I haven't been doing a whole lot of work for myself lately. I'm catching what I can, do a little bit of roadieing for my DJ buddy. And God love his heart. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have anything on this channel to do any content creating with. Now, guys, if y'all got any questions, let me know here in the chat. Now, Evan, there was something that I was wanting to ask you. Let me see where my notes are here.
All right.
So, do you build any builds? I know that I haven't noticed you doing much of any like ground up building, RC builds. I know you do add a lot of hop ups, and you sure as heck overpower some cars sometimes, which that's always cool. But are you working on any builds? You plan on doing any builds? Any crawlers? Anything cool?
As far as ground up stuff, no. Not yet anyway. I do have some stuff in the works that is obviously upgrades. A part 2 to my ARMA Sentin 3S with 4S parts on it, 4S Outcast parts on it. That's with the blue Beetle body. That thing was awesome. I've got a I'll show you. I've got a part 2 to that that's gonna come out eventually. But yeah, it's been a while. It's probably been almost a year, actually. Look at this thing. I like this a lot. It has such a good suspension. Look at all that travel. So anyway, a part 2 to that. I'm working on a crawler project, actually. You want to see it again?
Yeah, please, because I didn't have you sold it. That blue bug. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, this was pretty awesome. There's how big it is. Huge. It's a Sentin 3S.
Is that a 16th? Is what that little misdemeanor is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 16. So this is just an Arma Sinton with Arma Outcast 4S Outcast suspension, but 6S springs. I mean shocks and springs. They're aftermarket though. I don't remember what brand they are. But yeah, a part 2 to that because it had a few problems that I wanted to solve, make it faster. I think probably. Yeah, and I told you about the video coming out here eventually with lots of weird things.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was
Pretty
trying to
excited
drag
about
out
that.
of you, but you caught me. So damn it. Good job, bub. Good job.
Appreciate it.
What's
Yeah,
up,
I'm working on a
Nathan's
car.
RC Clips? How you doing, brother?
Hey.
Now, do you happen to know of anything interesting coming out soon that maybe some of us don't know about that you can talk about? Now, I know that Relarlo's got a smaller-ish rally car coming out. I saw that on Relarlo's page.
Yep, that's coming. It's delayed. There's a, well, you might know about the 1/7 scale MJX. That's coming.
Gary's old guy review has got great info on that one, guys. You need to check it out. He might be a crazy old man from up there in the Alaskan wilderness, but he's got a lot of time to play with tiny trucks. You know, in the wintertime, whenever it snows after work, you got to do something, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have that 1/7 rally car, or at least I'm supposed to, but I'm gonna probably get it way later than everyone else.
Well,
so it's supposed to be like mid to late June that I get that car.
Okay, now is everybody across the pond maybe going to get it before you think, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because see, I know that Phil was a little bit perturbed about us getting something released before they got something there not too long ago, and they're just tit for tat, you know. What's up, Nas?
Yeah, so that happens. There's another MJX coming soon, but not a big car. Then there's the Relarlo Rally, the other Relarlo 1/7 crawler. There's another car coming. I don't know exactly when. It's delayed also. But that video is already done. I can't say anything about it though. It is good, though.
I tried to talk him into telling me when we did a little bit of a dry run there earlier this week, guys, and I couldn't drag it out of him. And he got his lips are sealed tighter than the doors are supposed to be at Fort Knox.
I had to sign an NDA on that one.
And you know what? The audio problem that I was having or hearing, Evan, it's right here. It's in my cord, in my headphones, not in your mic.
Huh.
I apologize.
My word. What is your... I sure hope that's not the mic you tried to sell me earlier.
Oh, no. This is a corded mic, and it's actually my headphone cord that I paid $10 for these Sony headphones at Walmart. I was looking at the cheap Walmart brand, and I just happened to look over in that case, and they had Sony headphones for same price as the Walmart brand, so I got them. But I have a problem of not keeping control of my cords well, and I step on my cords, and I've got the plug-in connection.
Oh yeah,
is crap. I got to go through and rewire it. That's what I do for a living, I guess you could call it now. I'm a roadie for a DJ and some bands if they still need me, but most of those are broken up. But if you ever heard of Ross Claude or Byzantine or Downstate, I used to run sound for them some.
I haven't, but they sound great.
No, you probably, if you go back on some of my shorts, you will be able to hear anything that you hear music wise that you don't know who the singer is. Like you'll hear a real heavy Another Brick in the Wall. That's Downstate.
Okay.
FDW. There's a lot of stuff that you probably wouldn't listen to, especially because you got Max and the youngins running around all the time, and they probably shouldn't hear that type of language.
Well, I'm out here alone a lot, and in my truck.
FDW, it's Okay, youngins, if you're listening, close your ears. Fat Dicor. And then there's a bunch of other ones, but the guys that were in that band, we're missing 2 of them. Brian, Jimmy, I miss you. Love you guys. Keep watching over us. Yeah, they split up before these guys passed. And I really think that's what part of it was them passing or them breaking up, and then them having some health issues. And Jimmy was diabetic and stuff, and Brian ended up he was very young and had a heart attack. Just gone. Wasn't no heart disease, wasn't any diabetes, nothing. But they put out good music and they were good guys.
Yeah.
See, I done pulled a Nevin, I done lost track.
Happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me look through here on this. See if anybody got any questions. I know you've been checking it too a little bit there.
Well, I had somebody make a comment earlier, and I'll double check on the post I made this morning. Somebody commented his own questions, but it's 2 a.m. where he is, so he's asleep.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. He's actually he was here.
I don't think I saw him.
Let me see. Let me go all the way back up here top, because he's in was it Jason Taylor? Because he's in Brisbane, Australia.
No, I think he said it's you. Yeah, he's in the UK.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't Jason Taylor. Yeah, he's here you go.
My bad.
All right. So anyway, questions. Let me go to that here. Find his questions. This is from 101 Projects. He's been with me a long time. He's been.
I know who you're talking about.
I've seen
him in the comment
section. So he asked me. Yeah, he's out there. Yeah. He asked, when the camera isn't rolling and it's just you time, what's your go-to RC?
Ooh.
There's a few different ones, I guess. I go for things, I break a lot of stuff in videos. So I try to go for things that either are cheap or I don't run my Armas and stuff. I think I have 9 Armas. I don't run those very often, actually. I mean, every now and then. I drove one today. But if I do crawling, it's usually the MJX 8th scale crawler. Ow. That hurt.
MJX has an 8th scale crawler. Is that the Gladiator or?
Believe it? Look at it. It's a Defender.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Look at that beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that's the one really that nice. Everybody Jurassic Parks up a lot, right?
Yeah, well, this one comes with, you can get it with the Jurassic Park livery.
Okay.
But this one, the MJX one, no. This isn't the Jeep.
Okay. That's the Defender. I got you.
Is the one with
I see the difference now.
Yeah, the blue one is
I always
the Defender.
keep forgetting
so
solo you out so that we can actually see and I can actually see.
Quite a bit. Yeah. So you can see it's a slight bit smaller than the Rolarlo. But I get that one out for crawling quite a bit because it's a little smaller than the Rolarlo and fits on my course better, and it's faster. So I get that one out on occasion, these two on occasion. But I think when it's those little mini, the little mini drifters, I get those out quite a bit because they're fun and they're one of the things you don't have to worry about breaking very often. And if they do break,
beating them off, you're not, beating them off the walls. You're not jumping them a lot. They don't go real fast, but
yeah, so here's something. Yeah. Anyway, these, I like, this was in that video along with the mini felony the other day. I mean, you can use them almost anywhere, and I can even use them on my bench now because it's so slidable. You can drive them like anywhere. And this thing, the coupon code that I got for this is 35% off, and it's already like $32. So
Dang.
that's insane. So you can get these cheap. People buy a lot of them. Actually, these are selling like
yeah,
crazy.
because
This is
those
another
are
one.
they are proportional steering and throttle, and I mean
Oh yeah,
everything, and
yeah,
for
all that stuff.
30 some bucks.
You can even they even sell parts for these now. Not all
Yeah.
of them, but you can get the parts for these cars and different bodies.
I heard Discipline was talking about that, and Phil was both talking about that, being able
Yep.
to get the parts and the bodies. Right there in the comments below you there, Mr. Earl said he wanted to thank you for his MT10.
Hey, you're welcome.
Now, Waffles has a question. Mike, Mr. Welder dude. And he's asking, I gotta get up here so I can see, up and coming RC YouTubers, do you reach out to these companies or do they reach out to you first? That's
Both.
a good question for a welder dude. Thanks, Waffles.
That's good for a welder.
Hey, I got
yeah,
a pick
both.
dude. He's my dude.
That's awesome. Yeah, both. Like DRC reached out to me first, and I think at the time I didn't really know that was a thing.
Right. How many
companies were saying stuff.
drivers did you say you had whenever they come knocking?
When DRC came knocking, I had less than 1,000. 800 or 900, maybe even less than that. I don't remember for sure. Yes, I'm glad my video helped you with the MT10. The thing about the MT10 now is I feel like it's fallen behind the technology. It's still good, but it's due for a refresh. I'll say that.
Just like every Traxxas ever made in the last 10 years. Did I? That T word, and I said it loud. I said the whole thing. Oh my gosh. Y'all don't be mad at me, guys. I apologize.
Well, I think the way you said it, the way you said it, I think I only heard one X. So you're good.
Okay. Just one. Okay, good.
Yeah,
as long as I don't go with two, I'm good. That way, I keep the Traxxas gods off of me. Ain't that right, Brett?
What's the stock pinion in that? I don't even know. 12? 12?
See.
But
I think it's a 12 or I can't remember. He told me whenever he was working on it, and I got so much stuff tried to being stored in this squishy stuff between my ears that some stuff just, I mean, it's got to just evacuate all the way through, just keep flowing because
it's clogged up. Yeah, so 12 tooth. That's what I thought. Yeah, it's not I don't remember what the top speed is stock. 40 something, I think. It's not that I don't know. It's still a good car. Tracks at. Yeah, he did. Yeah, MT10. So that's one that I used to get out a lot on my me time only.
Right.
It's been a little while because my son, Max, always wants to drive that one. It's one of his favorites.
I've noticed that. He likes that. He likes that 12 scale MJX too, don't he? Because isn't that the one he was doing the backflips with?
No, that was well, he does backflips with a lot of stuff, but he did a double front flip with a Hosem.
Okay, it was the Hosem that he did that. Now try to pronunciate that name right there.
Where?
On the screen.
You're us on Oz.
Why are you so nosy?
Oh, why are you so nosy?
Dude, I never figured it out. I just called him Nas. I figured it was something because of Nos, you know what I mean? And he finally told us on one of Skivvy Skivs or Jason's or Rock Wolf's lives one night what it was, and I was like, "Ha! No kid."
Very under the radar. I like it.
It was great. It's awesome.
All right, 101 projects. Question 2: what video are you most proud of? I read these earlier and I didn't even notice that one. There's only 3. What video am I most proud of? So the Goblinator video, I like that a lot.
That was a good one.
It was.
I'm sort of partial.
Yep. There's a dancing goblin near the end.
Yeah. And of course, there's a Rololo Omni Terminator. It's one of the baddest ass 11 scale vehicles on the market.
Yep. Let's see that one. I'm also that blue buggy. I actually rewatched that a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Wow, that is a great car." Most proud. And the video that features this one. I love that video. And the car, there's 4 different cars in that video. This is the standout winner, and it's still only like $45. It's bigger than the one. It's bigger than the ones that are like $30. This is a 1/43rd scale. This is a 1/32nd scale. I have another one of these in this video too, but I like this video a lot also.
Right.
I don't know, setting up the course, racing with Max, my oldest kids. Bye, Steven.
See you, Steven. Thanks for stopping by.
Yes, thanks. Why are you so nosy? Yeah, we figured it out.
That's awesome,
Well,
ain't it?
I did. Yeah, it is. So yeah, there might be some. There's probably some I'm missing. I mean, there's a lot of them I'm proud of, but those come to mind. And what does Mrs. Derby think of your YouTubiness?
I've always wondered that myself because we never get to see her, we never hear from her. She just stays. She's the boss in the background. She's the silent partner, I take it, except for whenever it's just you all, and then she's the verbal partner.
Yeah. She doesn't do anything work-wise or YouTube-wise or anything. She's busy raising 4 kids. I mean, she stays at home. She has to for the time being. And one of them is still not in school yet. All right. So
that's your
it's
daughter's
now.
one. That's the youngest, right?
Yeah. Well, again, she's one of the twins, but they're
Oh,
both
that's right. I
the,
forgot you had twins.
Yeah, they're both in the early steps program because they're both slightly behind on things. And so Cooper, my twin son, they're 3.5. He qualified. Well, they're older than 3.5. Let's say 3 and 8 months. They're something like that. But he qualified for early preschool, and she did not. I guess she was too smart. Which maybe
girls
she is.
don't blossom as quickly as boys do on their.
Well, no, they're saying that she's ahead of him. Like she didn't have to go to early education.
Okay. Yeah, see, that's the way they do it. Because I remember whenever I was a kid, you got to go to early preschool if you were one of the smart ones because they were wanting to boost you up into school back.
Yeah, I mean that
I'm 48 as of this past Wednesday, so you're nowhere near that. You probably didn't have to put up with that stuff.
Happy birthday. You don't look a day over 47.
I made it 27 years past the date that everybody told me I was going to not make it past. And
congratulations.
Hi, guys. I made it 27 years past what y'all thought.
So, wife. So, things are better now. Obviously the channel does make money. I can't live off of it, but it helps. But at the same time, due to that, I've worked my business less, which luckily, since it's mine, I'm able to do that. So that's certainly a benefit. But so I'm not making extra money by any means. In fact, I'm making less than I was 2 years ago.
Oh, you're making that YouTube money. Not yet. You making that donut operator and Mr. Beast money. We know you just a regular guy like us, so you don't want to rub it in our face. We understand, bud.
Yeah, not yet. Mr. Beast better watch out though. But so in the early days, there were some problems for sure. I mean, it started out as a hobby, and then it turned into YouTube, which I love doing. I like editing. I have a different style than a lot of people. And
really, you got a different style? You sure?
Yeah, a little. And I like I like what I do. I like adding stuff. I don't do it in like what YouTube money. Yeah, no kidding.
Waffles, no don't kidding. You lie. You in full sender drinking Cristal and eating that green bubble love and drinking that a rainbow stew. Sorry, that's the one that popped up in my head on that one.
Well, that was good. I liked it a lot. But I mean, I'll say this: if I didn't have if I had 0 kids and lived in an apartment, I could probably live off YouTube. But I wouldn't
Hey,
have a
that's cool.
studio, and I wouldn't have enough. I wouldn't have the nice things that that are required for, not required, but somewhat essential, I
Make it
guess.
easier to create content.
You know, so there's 2 sides. I mean, if I had what I have and had the bills, the monetary responsibility of living in an apartment, I could probably pull it off. But
Yeah, but you
nowhere
wouldn't have
close to
those.
that.
You wouldn't have those 4 wonderful pieces of you running around, breathing up our air and yelling and screaming and pooping and yelling and screaming and peeing and
Yelling and screaming, that's the big one.
you know, hey, I'll
Um,
tell you what, man. If it wasn't, you know, long story, me and my kids, but I love them both to death, and thank God they had grandkids, because now I can actually do what I want to with the kids and jack them up on Mountain Dew and then send them home.
there you go. Yeah,
And
pretty
they
awesome.
listen to Papa instead of their parents. Yes, most of the time. Which Alex pulled one on me yesterday. He wasn't listening to me, and he finally got old enough. He's about 3.5 now, well, almost 3.5. That he realizes that Charleston, West Virginia, and Phoenix, Arizona are way farther apart than what Papa says they are.
Yeah.
That he was being a little asshole to his mommy last night, and I said, Papa will come to Phoenix, and I will smack you right square in your mouth, boy. You don't do that to your mommy. And then he started laughing. I was like, little shit knows that I can't get there that quick. I said, you better be careful. I said, I'll have your mommy turn around there and backslap you. And he said, yeah. She said, Dad, you know it ain't going to work.
Yeah, I'm the stricter disciplinarian in our household. You know, I have to. Yeah, I'm the one that does that. Like earlier today, my middle son, he's about to turn 6 in a couple weeks. He is a screamer. If he doesn't get his way, he just yells and screams and cries.
Way Junior is. That's why Alec is.
Yeah, way worse than any of the other ones. And you know, and I was in here, which is like probably, it's about 120 feet away, maybe 100, I don't know, 75 to 100 feet away from where he was in the front of the house, which I'm in the back of the house, and I could hear him screaming. My wife was trying to get him to come in the house. He was not listening. He was saying no. So as soon as she saw me come around the corner, she goes, "Oh, you're in trouble now." That, you know, I guess that's probably kind of normal, I guess.
Right.
She can't be as hard on him as I am. But
Moms usually have that
because
compassion, you know. They're not like Dad. You know, Dad's like, you listen, you do what you're supposed to do. If you don't obey the rules, here's the punishment. Moms, they married them. We didn't. You know, they got a little bit more. They got a little bit more attachment to the feeling part of it. You know, they had to deal with them longer than we have.
My mom was more the mean one for me growing up. I mean, my dad, when he got mad, but it was harder for him to get mad. My mom was usually the one I was more, I say afraid, but just afraid of getting in trouble.
Right. You probably had your dad cracking up and your mom was seeing through it. And he's like, nope, that happened. It ain't happening, kid.
Yeah, that definitely happened. So let's see. Oh, anyway, so it was hard in the beginning, and then it's hard when I say I'm gonna go work, and really I'm leaving to go drive RC cars somewhere, because that is technically work for me.
Right.
It was hard. It's gotten way better, but it was hard to get that to sink in. Like, I'm literally going to work driving RC cars. So
I'm going to work and go play tiny trucks.
Exactly. So she'd get,
playing with tiny trucks doesn't always consist of being fun. And that's something that a lot of people need to understand. There's a lot of work to doing what you do and what I'm trying to do, what Waffles does, what I mean, all of us here are trying to do. You know, we know that there's a lot of work put into it. Not all of us have it like oh shoot, Talbot over there. He worked his butt off to get to where he's at, you
Mhm.
know, but now he's able to play and do his content now. He's not having to work on it, you know,
Yeah,
as
he has a
much
lot
as
of help, I think. You know, like he has other people that hold the camera,
oh yeah,
which is great. You know, it'll be awesome when Max is a little older. He
yeah.
is really excited about driving a drone and helping record with a drone. So that's one of the things that'll hopefully be in the next year or two is him
Awesome.
following
Dude,
cars. with a drone.
they say if you start kids younger and younger and younger on RCs and especially drones, where they're used to these gaming systems and stuff, they pick it up just plat, plat, plat. And I've got you soloed out and you can't even see me doing all my hand motions and all the stuff because I'm talking about it, son.
Yeah, I hear you though.
But yeah, you know,
yeah,
I was a Pong / Atari coming up. You were what, NES, Super NES?
yeah, the NES, N64 was big. I never had one. My grandma had an NES. That's the box thing.
Yeah.
Tray. Yeah.
Don't blow in the cartridge.
Yes. And now we
but-
have that one they came out with a couple years ago that has the games preloaded on it.
Oh
So I
yeah,
can
with
still play
150
Mario.
Nintendo games on it, and it's just
Yeah.
a mini NES. That's sweet.
Yeah, yep, I have that, so I can play Mario. And Max got into Mario a couple years ago when we got that. But
Now, do those preloaded games, do they have all the bonus levels and stuff that the old games had?
yeah, you still
Sweet.
can't save it though. They didn't change that. You
still got to keep it running and keep it playing to get all the way through.
or am I wrong about that? Because I also
you were able to save it like every few levels.
no.
Was
If you turned the game off, you were done. You were starting all over.
Okay, yeah, because they didn't have a memory card or anything.
No.
PS1s and the GameCubes and the Sega were the ones that brought out the memory stuff.
Yeah.
You're right.
And PlayStation. I'm pretty sure on the new, it's been probably 3 years since I've played it now, but I think on the new one with the included games programmed in, I think you still can't save, but you can still do the warp zone and get to different, you know, you can still do that.
Yeah, I remember playing Double Dragon and Mario 2 or Mario 3
Mario
up at my
1
buddy's house, and we literally didn't know what speed was, didn't know what Afrin or any of that stuff, you know, to keep you awake. We stayed awake as like 10 or 11-year-olds for like a whole weekend playing those two games a weekend apiece to beat them. And there was like 4 of us playing these games. You know, we'd take breaks, switch off. Yeah.
My mom didn't let me get my own game system for a long time. And then my grandma got me a PlayStation 2 for Christmas one year. But my other grandma had the NES. I didn't. So I was only allowed to play that when I was at my grandma's house. And then finally, after forever, my mom allowed my other grandma, to get me a PS2 for Christmas.
Waffles, you ain't that old. You didn't play Hot Rod either. There ain't no way. You ain't that old.
But back to that YouTubiness wife question.
Right.
It's way better now. She understands it a little more, but
yeah, she don't think that you're just saying that you're going to work and then going out and playing. She actually knows that you're going to work and going to work.
She knows that it's going to produce some monetary value. Yeah, it's not, but yeah, I mean, I would come home and, you know, she'd be like, I've been messing, you know, I've been dealing with these kids.
Dealing with these 3 screaming demons all day, and one of them's sick and the other one's crying, and they're going like, waffle maker quit. Yeah, I mean, I understand, you know, the life of being a mom with the kids at home, and it would be tough to be a stay-at-home parent and not be able to have adult interaction and conversation. I could see that.
That's not in. I couldn't do it. I mean,
I could do it, but I don't know how long that the little lovelies would be around if I had to do it all the time, 365. Because here's the deal: my little lovelies are just like me, and I was a pain in the ass. I was a spoiled single, no brothers, no sisters.
Mhm.
And yeah, I learned to play. I learned from a good teacher on how to use people's emotions against them and
Mhm.
how to play them to get them to do what you want. Thank
Yeah.
God I went to the light side of the force now,
There you go.
because I could use my evil powers for a lot of bad.
Sure.
And my kids they didn't watch it. They just inherently got it.
Sure.
And they're
That happens.
just not as good as on the follow through and the inception and the planning behind their game as I was.
Mhm.
Because they try to play my playbook, play for play, page for page. They don't change which way the daggone direction of the play is going. They don't change a passing route. They don't even give an option in there for a flip. Nothing. If they don't have an audible, they play it play for play, page for page. And it's like, okay, well, you're getting ready to do this. Bing, here it goes. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
The Commodore 64. That's what I was on. Now, this being the RC New Folks podcast, I'm going to ask you for some advice for an RC new folk, but I'm going to go ahead and quantify what previous interviewees, guests, podcastketeers have said. Basically is, well, I can't think of what I was trying to say now.
Rubbing off on each other.
Hold on.
But I did it twice.
Alex.
So
I know your mic works.
yeah, what's up?
What is some of the RC new folks questions that have been answered? I know that Waffles had answered it. I can't think at this present time what the hell he said. And I know that XO did too. And I know that Matt and Dungeon and everybody that's been interviewed has. I just am drawing a blank.
Let's see. Just one of the main ones that comes to mind is like, what's a bit of knowledge you learned as a newbie yourself that is relevant today that you can give advice on for people to
It was
utilize?
as relevant then as it is now.
Okay.
Or
I guess
just
there's a couple
whatever you
things.
can come up with. I was just trying to let you know that there, was a few been, batted around and stuff. Waffles, I'm sure you can tell me in the chat what you said. I can't remember.
Well, so I'll bring up tools. I
Okay.
came from the automotive world again, and tools are really important. Luckily, in this hobby, you don't need that many for basic maintenance. Screwdrivers, hex drivers, nut drivers, and that's, it's nice to have an impact drill or an impact driver and a drill. But don't cheap out on those things. I mean, get everyone in, like, on Facebook and in groups, they talk about MIP. As a brand that makes hand tools. I've never used those. I've got tools
They
from
look quality made.
a website called
I've never
Naughty
seen 'em.
Boy. What? Naughty Boy RC.
Yeah.
Those are good. I've had them 2 years ish now, and they're not rounded. They still work well. So that's important because if you have cheap tools, they're going to round out your screws a lot easier. Another thing is, talking about cheaper cars, like China-made cars and stuff,
Yep.
things that basically stuff besides your Traxxas, your Armas. Some people say, oh, just buy a Traxxas. Well, that's fine. But like, I was talking about the cars that I go out and drive sometimes. I think that if you want to be able to pick up a car and drive it anytime, you should have good brands and you should have cheap brands, even if it's just one of each, because whenever I go out and drive an Arma, I'm like, unless it's for a video, I'm more careful with it because the parts are usually a little more expensive, and not always. It depends. Some of them are really well priced, but if it's a cheaper car, even though I'll have to wait longer for the parts to come in, I don't care as much.
Right.
You know?
That's what I was getting ready to get
And it's
at.
still just as fun, or
With
almost
the
at
bigger
least.
brands. Now, that's just being said for here in West Virginia. We don't have any major chain hobby shops. We've got an Ed's RC. I don't know how big they are. We got one right here in town with me. We've got the local crawl shop down here a couple miles away. But the bigger name trucks like the Traxxases, the Armas, that stuff is a more readily available part. And that's what I was getting to about Relarlo. I was telling Annie and Andy both that where they have proprietary parts and they're not letting their stuff into the aftermarket, it's really killing their business plan, in my humble opinion. I've been around business all my life. It's a construction business, but I was learning the business side of it as I was learning the poundy and sandy stuff. But these companies that have parts that aren't proprietary, that are going through the aftermarket, people can get them a lot easier going through Amazon or, you know, some of these other internet outlets that you can get parts through. Now I done lost where I was at. Go ahead. If I didn't screw you up, I apologize.
Well, yeah, I think
Medicaid.
you're trying to make the same point that I was kind of talking about, where, yeah, it's easier to get parts for those brands, but they're also more expensive.
Way
Usually.
more expensive.
Not always. I don't know. Even if they're not, there's more for me. Maybe I am weird, but maybe it's just me, but there's more of a stress level where I want to keep that car in better shape. Even if something doesn't break, eventually parts wear out. It doesn't drive as good as it would when it's new.
Right.
So I feel like I'm easier on it, again, unless I'm doing a video, not easy on them in videos. But so like, I just feel like, you know, some people, a guy used to heckle me with cheap RC car videos, like just go get an Arma and stuff. And yeah, I get that, but are you seriously coming home? He said he drives his Arma every day and shoots it to the moon every single day. Like, are you really doing that every day?
Spending
because
$55
like,
to
it's gonna break, and you're gonna
$150 on
break
his
it in a
truck
lot.
every month, per se, on replacement parts.
Yeah, so like, I like doing that stuff, obviously, but if I'm doing it every day, I'm not gonna want to do that with my Arma, my Armas and stuff. I'm gonna want to do it with a cheaper car, to where if it breaks, you can buy an entire car for relatively cheap to have for extra parts. So I guess that's what it is. Don't get caught up in the Arma or Traxxas only thing. Skeeters. That's fine. Have all those that you want. I just still feel like it's great to have a backup or a couple backups or things that you can drive stress-free, like these, you know?
Yeah, like the WL Toys
I've felt that way since I
17
started.
and 19. You
You know,
buy the
I
car,
don't drive the
$100,
expensive cars
$120
all that often.
You can buy the whole damn. If you wanted to be
Not to
stupid
mention
and put
getting
everything
stuff for my
aluminum,
kids.
WL Toys upgrades on WL 124017, you can get every bit of it for under $50. If you wanted to go with all the metal upgrades on it, you can buy parts you can get axle kits and control arm kits for $5-6 a piece. Well, was able to. I don't know now because I haven't looked at them lately. But you know,
They'll
like
break again, you know. But
yeah, I mean,
but
you know,
still get them
you're
cheap.
going to break stuff in this hobby. You're going to, no matter if you're a 24 scale crawler or if you're in a 110 basher or if you're in a 1/5 scale nitro buggy, you know, you're going to tear up stuff no matter what. You're not going to get away from that learning curve or throttle curve or you know resilience curve or whatever I'm trying to come up with.
I do have one question for you though, and it's purely my automotive side of me that wanting to ask this question, because
but, I totally
what ties
agree.
me to RC cars is like the suspension. setup on the little crawlers is what keeps me feeling like I'm still connected to my automotive side. What is it like that for you?
What keeps me attached to my automotive roots?
Yeah,
Is that what
pretty
you're
much.
asking?
Uh-huh.
And so you're saying the realism of crawlers and stuff, kind of.
Yeah, where he's able to, you know, tune on his suspension and stuff. It's got him to where he's still back in his 1-to-1 crawler times. You know, it's keeping him planted all, you know, copacetic and together. You know what I mean? If that makes
Gotcha.
sense. Wow, I had to translate Alex.
Mm-hmm.
It don't
Yeah.
never go that way.
And yeah, that makes sense. I think crawlers are cool in that way. I've got quite a few of them too. But I guess there's nothing else that really keeps me tied to the roots of the 1-1 days, except for being able to repair them and enjoying the repairs as well. Because you know, like I've gotten into rally cars. Ever since I got that Rollarlo rally car, I've liked rally cars a lot. It's a lot of fun. Those are a little more realistic, obviously, than the monster bashers and stuff. I mean, those aren't really scale at all. But yeah, so that stuff doesn't really keep me tied to the 1-1 world at all. But the repairs do. And then there is the scale crawler side, just like you just said, that realisticness of it and being able to. I've never actually been like real rock crawling, but yeah. So I share your same thoughts on that as well. But other than that, nothing except repairing them keeps me tied to my old 1-1 days. Like, you know, that was one of the things that helped draw me in was, oh, wow. Like, I didn't know, like I said, I didn't really know how far everything had come. And I was only toy grade stuff as a kid. And
I didn't have anybody to help
like,
me
wow,
teach me how to work on the RC cars back then. I was learning to work on 1-on-1s back whenever I was 8-10 years old.
Yeah.
You know,
so yeah, the fact that you can buy replacement parts and fix this, I thought that was really neat. So so that definitely helped keep me in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to see what Nas was saying there. Didn't mean to take Jerry's quote off there.
Yeah, Nas, nosy.
Yeah.
People kill $5 RCs and then breaking them. Yeah, that's why a lot of times when I do break something in the video, I'll try to say that it's reasonable. I didn't do that at first, but then I was like, you know, this people don't really realize, and they're going to see that and think it can do it. Even if you see the break, you have to know that that's going to happen. So I try to mention that more in videos, that this is reasonable. But then you'll have people that say I'm biased and I got that car for free, so of course I'm going to say it's reasonable. You can't win. Like, sometimes you're nice to a car and it's deserving. I'm not going to be nice to a car that's not. But at the same time, you know, someone's still going to like it, even if I don't. So you can't. I try not to push my opinion on a car too much. I try to just give the facts and say things. But if you're pushing a car hard, it's going to break. And people complain about it. You see it in the ARMA groups. You see it really bad in the Rollarlo groups, where they're like, well, a wheel nut fell off, or well,
the diff cups are junk, blah 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 blah. I got 70 packs under my alloy one, and they just went on the 70 some pack, you know, and they were the stock diff cups. And I was learning to drive a
people say
basher.
Something like it was just rolling through the grass and something snapped. I mean, that's rarely going to be true, but a lot of people actually say that.
Flaw happen in manufacturing process. It can't be seen. It can't be found sometimes. I mean, you know, you're going to have screw ups. That's why there's lemon laws for 1-to-1s. And like Jerry said, you know, he does RC stuff just to get away from where he works on 1-to-1s. You know, And Nas, he
Yep.
loves that Everest 10. That's where me and him have clicked at a lot, because that was my first 1/10th crawler.
Mhm.
Unbeknownst by me that it was exactly the same thing that I had in my 1/24th, except a 1/10th, and it was a different name. The AX24 and the Everest 10 are both vertical chassis railed torque twist kings. You know that
Yeah.
you've got to do some mods too, and Nas has done all kind of stuff with his to make his quit doing it, like I did with my axe. You know, different things you can do to help
Mhm.
tame some of that stuff, and it's fun. It's being able
Yep.
to go and not just buy parts and do what everybody's telling you to do is what I learned from Waffles. Is if you think that you can do it, try it. If you can't, oh well, you're not hurting nothing. You're learning something by
Yeah.
trying it, you know. And if you have the knowledge or ability to be able to do that kind of stuff, go for it. You know, I mean, you don't have to
Yep.
have a whole lot of money to do upgrades on just say 10 scale or 24 scale crawlers. I mean, I made these links out of a piece of metal, a drill. I used a
Mhm.
drill bit just a little bit bigger than my M, whatever those screws are on these 124s, and a little vise and some heat shrink. And I have links that I've made for this SCX24 that have never broken. I've never
Mhm.
broken any screws. I've only had to replace the heat shrink like once in it. And
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't break. I mean, I'm learning. I made DIY wheel weights out of a 7/8 brass bushing that you get
Yep.
for 1-to-1s. I took it, sliced it down a little bit to where it fit on the inside of the wheel and didn't hit my hub. Super glued it to the inside of the wheel. I took a clothes hanger to the
Yeah.
stock SCX24 AX24 steering links. I super glued a piece of clothes hanger to those steering links so that you wouldn't get all that flex.
There
You
you
know,
go. Yeah.
I took
Make things
uh,
better.
the original AX24 frame rail. I took one of them. I chopped that some gun in half and made frame extensions for the rear of the AX24 to help tame the torque twist. And just
Yeah.
happened to have made this exact chassis per mounting position and geometry wise that NSC Nathan Warner did with this one. You know, somebody that's doing it on CAD, and I just took a piece of aluminum, cut it in half, and by the way, hot glue loves you.
Yep.
Hot glued it to the side of the carbon fiber frame until I figured out where I wanted it, and then I made it permanent. Well,
Yeah.
haven't yet, but it will
Yep.
be.
Yeah, just making things work is a lot of fun for me. Yeah, I've done a few projects like that. Some interesting things in that weird RC video coming out. I'm looking forward to that one a lot. Like I said, I've only done 2 of the 5 projects in this video, and the other 3 are just, I guess I don't know, they're kind of off the wall.
I like off the wall. And
So
wait a
yeah,
minute,
and I'll have to do
Full
some
Spin
weird
must have got
stuff
a
to
hold
make
of
them work.
Waffle's keyboard there, because what's that say? If you're not breaking stuff, you ain't driving. Wait a minute, that don't sound like a welder dude. That sounds like teacher lady. You sure?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I got to pick on Mike. And I got to pick on Full Sin because I don't get to pick on her enough. It's always me and her and RC Granny picking on Waffles.
Poor Waffles.
But yeah, man, and
Yeah. What else? I think that was the rest of my questions that someone else gave me.
right,
Let me make sure. Yeah, that was.
that's good. That's good advice right there, Waffles too. You always have your
Yeah.
haters.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
help you
Yeah.
out.
Don't. A lot of times you'll have 2 different, well, sometimes more than 2. Actually, in yesterday's video, there's people arguing over stuff, and I don't get into arguments. I mean, I guess I probably have before, but I try not to. In the comments. But yeah, people argue, and that's going to help the algorithm. Just let them do it. If it gets too negative, I'm going to delete those comments. You know, if they start being mean to people for no reason and stuff, but I'll delete those.
Yeah,
but
like
if it's
in those
it's just
Facebook
conversation.
groups.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Hey, Nas, be safe, brother. No YouTubing while you're driving, sir.
People get nasty on Facebook.
Oh, dude, we was talking
Relarlo
about
group
that
is
one
something else.
situation that I had previously earlier, but there's a lot of other people that you can ask Brett Allen on Life of Ballin'. There's a lot of people that give me a hard time because I say put paddle tars on it, and I spell it TARS, and you know, get did GITRDID, or you know, and they're like, did you even go to school? I said, well, actually, sir, I graduated in the year I was supposed to, and I also took the SAT through a John Hopkins study in the 6th grade and passed 93rd percentile West Virginia seniors that year. Hey,
Granny.
he said, just like Beetlejuice, by golly, RC Granny, RC Granny, RC Granny, and look who's in the comment section. What's up, Granny? How's everything over there crossed into in the outback regions? Got a lot of Australian folks that I am lucky enough to interact with through my RC life. All kind of
yeah.
LG, Laughlin, RC Rena. Shoot, I can't remember Nathan's channel's name. My bad. But there's a lot of good guys. RC Granny, there's that are from Australia that I ended up being able to talk with. I've got friends over in Europe. I mean, you know, I love this. I love this RC family that I've been brought a part of, and
yeah,
trying to think, Evan, what I was wanting to ask you the most about. Oh, when we gonna see Granny again?
I never know. Again, she lives up in the attic up there. Yeah,
I heard something stomping around there a little bit ago. I was wondering if maybe she was going to try to come see us, but I didn't figure. You know, she's getting a little older, not as spry as she used to be.
I had to reinforce the ceiling up there.
Well, dude, I mean, you know, whenever all you do is drink Mountain Dew mango from Little Caesars and eat ho-hos, what are you gonna do? You know, you gotta reinforce it for her.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, guys, I'm a Mountain Dew fanatic. Been there since I was a kid. But if you have not tried the new flavor of Mountain Dew that's out right now that consists of mango, around here they say they only have it at Little Caesars Pizza, but I was told it was at a like a Myers or a Kroger's. We have Kroger's here, not Myers. But you got to try it out because it's as good as Baja Blast and Livewire. And I don't know if anybody remembers Distortion, the dark-ish green Gatorade that was a little bit colored like Baja Blast, but it was lime. Taco Bell kept it in their freezy for a while. It was awesome as hell. But y'all really need to try this. And no, I am not supported in any way by Pepsi or Mountain Dew. But if y'all would like, I would gladly take a sponsorship.
Send me some drinks.
Send me some drink.
And I'll tell you,
I like the green drink. I like the orange drink. And I like the other green drink and the other orange drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
RC Granny, since how you're coming in a little bit late, you've got a fresh mind. Do you have any questions for our lovely guest, Mr. Evan with Derby City RC, who does all kinds of reviews on all kinds of RCs? Except I've never seen him fly anything. Have you flown any?
Comment.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Not a plane or a chopper or so
hey, I promise I won't throw you under the bus.
No. I have an RC that I plan on getting slightly more airborne than normal, and it's still a car. But I don't know if it'll work. But my son, he got into drones for a bit, like I said, and he's the one I'm gonna try to get him to, well, he wants to follow my cars with a drone, record
Yeah,
them. He'll
yeah,
have a
that's
lot of
cool. I've
fun
got a
doing
buddy
that.
of mine
It'll be,
who do that. So.
yeah, it'll be cool extra camera angles. So anyway, he was out practicing on a drone. It was a really cheap one that someone got him for his birthday, I think last year. And he was flying it around. He was doing good. Probably like a $20 drone. It was in the backyard. He was doing fine. And I was like, I want to try it. And as soon as I take the controller, it goes up, 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 won't stop. It was kind of windy. The wind took it. And I'm trying to, I don't know how the controls work. I was like, here, you have, and it wasn't working. It just went, and we saw it disappear over the house and the tree line like a mile away. And it was
Does it
gone.
happen to look anything similar to that body shape right there? Like an E-Sheen type drone?
It might have
You
been
really
something like
can't
that.
see, I know. Like the ones that they were giving away on Facebook, the $50 ones or the $100 ones there last year or whatever. I know the same thing. My very first drone that wasn't bought from Walmart was like that. I was learning to fly it, and I was doing good. Height level. I get up above the roof line in the house, but you know what? Whenever you're in a subdivision or a neighborhood and you're around houses and you're in your backyard, you don't really pay attention to what's above the roof line, because above the roof line, there's a lot of cool stuff that goes on, like air movement and wind and stuff. And I had the same freaking thing happen, dude. It went up and up and up, and it went that way. And I'm hitting land, back. And I was trying to, and I couldn't. I ended up getting it back about 2.5 weeks later. The neighbor that wasn't home and I wasn't allowed to get into their yard found it, and luckily the person that had gotten me the drone for helping them was like, I put the insurance on it, so if you lost it, I'll tell them, they'll send you another one. I'd already got the second one, tore it up. The guy brought me mine back, and it was tore up. So I turned one of those into a FPV for 24 scale RC car.
Yeah. Pretty neat. No comment, Waffles.
I did another one here with this one because I had a problem with the transmitter, and on this transmitter it just had a button for forward, a button for back, a button for left, and a button for right underneath the joystick. Well, one of those buttons had come out, so I didn't have any yaw left, and I kept running it in between the houses and shit. And so I got that soldered back together. I was happy as hell. Jason Earl told me how to do it, and I did it, and I was, yes, I finally soldered something on an electronic board and did good, you know. I went to go fly it. One of the damn motors went out whenever I was trying to fly it without without that button, and I hit the wall and I tore the motor up. So I cut the damn wires. All you got to do, guys, if you want to make you an FPV out of an old cheap drone, is just take the case off, take the wires that come from the spinnies, chop them off. And you can still use the camera, board, everything, battery pack, whatever you want. And you have an app for that phone. You have an FPV system for your RC car. Now, if you're making them for these, yeah, you need to condense it down. That's where I screwed up on the first one. I condensed it down too small to where I was having to take a battery in and out of it a bunch, and it kept breaking the wires off the board and resoldering it back. I ended up just screwing the board up. This one I'm going a little bit slower with, and I do have it taken apart now, which I'd love to know where it went, because I was going to show you. But oh well. There is a video on my channel. Y'all can go check it out. But it may, you know, for a little 24 scale, it's awesome. You see the guys like Jerry's and RC Dungeon and a bunch of them that put their GoPros, you know, FPV style, in their crawlers, on their 110 crawlers. You see Phil and them using their Insta 360s and stuff on their bashers. Well, you don't see guys doing an indoor course with a 24 scale FPV much.
No, you don't.
And I think it's pretty nifty if I ever get my indoor course or be able to go to like Rock Wolf's course up there in Michigan or Reactive Terrain over across the pond, one of those cool, visually stunning courses. I think that would be awesome having an FPV camera set up to be able to do that.
Yeah. That'd be
Yep.
neat. Yeah, FPV is pretty cool, and I think FPV's best area is crawling for sure, because you can make it realistic. You can't really bash with ramps, and even drifting, you can't really use FPV. Say I've tried,
Now,
but I can see it working. But
I'm
it'd be
going to
difficult.
caveat that for a second because if I know
I
that
don't
you
know.
don't get to watch a whole
It's
lot of
something I wanna
YouTube, so
try,
you may not have seen ADHD or ADHDRC. Check him out, dude. FPV's this little buggy.
No, I've seen him.
What
I've
is
seen
it?
it before.
Okay, all right. Now
But
he
doesn't.
don't
He
really
doesn't
bash,
usually like
but
go off ramps and
he's
stuff.
he's heavy. He's heavy footed on it. You know.
That's what I'm talking about. It'd be really difficult to land stuff.
Oh yeah. I agree with you 100% there. But the way that ADHD does, man, that's what got me really wanting to come back into RC. I happened to run across his channel like that, and I saw the FPV stuff. My daughter had my first grandson. 2 and 2 was going to make 4. Me and him was going to grow up. I was going to raise him up in the hobby. Well, I started getting everything going, and she up and moved to damn Phoenix on me. So I'm having to do it over the interwebs, and it's a little bit harder. But
Yeah.
now there was something else. Did anybody else have any questions in the comments?
RC Granny had a question.
Okay, what was it?
OG Mikey's RC room wants some ideas for growing a channel, an RC channel. So my best advice, my best advice there is take inspiration from some of your favorite channels, and then over time add your own uniqueness to it. Make sure you're doing what you like. If you like crawling, do that. If you like all of it, obviously do that. Start with what you have, start with what you know, grow your knowledge as you go. And take inspiration. Take inspiration from other channels and make it your own as you go. So take 5 different favorite RC car channels, just watch them a bunch, use their I guess I don't know, just figure out your own style from inspiration from others over time, and it'll evolve and it'll be you. And that's my advice when people ask that.
That's a great question, Granny, and great answer, Evan. I like that. And Waffles, before you keep going on that pontoon, I'm sending you something with the other thing that I've got too for you. Sorry, it's super secret squirrel stuff, but I'm not gonna bring out his cool thing that he's going to be doing that I'm helping facilitate. But on the boat deal, I got something. We need to talk. So holler at me tomorrow, next day or something, Mike. And I've got the packing stuff ready to do the other. So I wanted to make sure to tell you that. And thank you, Granny, for bringing that up, because I wouldn't have remembered. And I don't know if Alex or Jason Earl would have thought to remind me. I don't even know if I actually told them about what I was thinking. So yeah, actually I did. I remember telling them now. Evan, I know it's it's getting pretty late, ain't it? What time is it? Holy crap, we've been on here for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Damn. I guess time flies when you're having fun, don't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
RC Granny. I don't know a whole lot about settings. I don't think I've changed any of them. I know I'm under entertainment, and I don't know if that's the best one to be under. I set it up 4 years ago. It's possible that that's now not correct. I mean, it's an entertainment channel, but at the same time, it's also a learning channel for RC.
Yeah, because you are doing reviews, you are teaching things whenever you need to be to teach something or see the need to be taught. Daggone, Granny, you just got done eating lunch. I'm getting ready to get my midnight snack. And doobie.
Yeah, exactly.
But man, I really appreciate you coming on. Is there any last thoughts, last words, any inside information that you can slide by us? See, I'm trying again. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get one of them cars out of that 5. I'm trying.
Well, the others you know about, I think. I think all the others we know about, or at least they've been out in the open before. But there's one,
right? Or any like upgrade, like whenever they come out with the Vortex 223, that upgrade. Is there anything coming out that you know of, like upgrade wise, to a normal to a normal platform that you're allowed to talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not, people ask me a lot of stuff, and I'm not like in the loop. I mean, I'm not in like a corporate email list or anything like that.
Right. I understand.
Sometimes I don't find out about cars. Yeah. Sometimes I don't find out about new cars until everyone gets the email about it, or you'll see a video pop up on YouTube about a brand new model. A lot of times I don't even know something's coming out.
2 months before anybody else knew about it. Oh, and I'm a new guy.
I didn't see. Yeah, look at that. But
I got friends in low, high places.
Yeah, there you go. Low, high. But no, I'm looking at it right now.
And I kept my mouth shut.
Pretty.
You believe that?
I'm looking at it. It's pretty. It's a pretty car. But I'm excited for its release. Let's just say that.
I hear you.
It's
good. I knew that you was tantalizing me a little bit there on our pregame there the other day when we was making sure everything worked, and he still wouldn't tell me, folks. I mean, I've been trying since then to get it out of him. He's good. I'll give him that. He's good.
I mean, don't expect. It's not like it's not groundbreaking. It's not like
it's not
we've never seen.
Funko. It's not a Funko sandrail, but it's still cool.
It's not like anything we've ever seen, but it's a premium version. And I'll just say it's a scale body, and it's not a crawler.
It's not a crawler. So okay, it's that right there. No, oh man, look out! The teacher's here. We can't talk. We can't talk like Hicks and write like Hicks anymore. There's full sin. She's in the chat. I miss Waffles.
Oh.
But okay, cool. Now that's going to make squishy stuff behind my eyes really go into overtime. That you said scale, but not a crawler. Why? Very interesting.
Not a scale whole car, but scale body.
Okay, scale body. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a premium version of stuff that we already see that should be more budgety friendly. I don't even know what it's going to cost yet. But that video is done. It's uploaded on YouTube. It is but it's private. I can't as soon as they say
I understand.
Go ahead. You can't buy it yet. Then it's click and it'll be out. And I don't know. I've asked for several follow-ups and I keep not getting they don't know. I mean, they don't even know. They're negotiating. All right, that's it. Next, what are we talking about now?
Hold on for just a second. No, don't use that teacher voice. I had to get dad voice out, and then Diesel gets mad, and Mom gets mad, and neighbors get mad. I don't get mad, but I go to jail, and then I get mad. I kid. Okay, sorry about that. And now, is there anything that whenever you were coming into the hobby that you wish you wouldn't have done?
Buy the JLB Cheetah. I wish I wouldn't have done that. That was in the hobby. That was the biggest waste of almost $400 I've ever made.
Right.
It's just a piece of junk. I mean, it broke so much that I was like, if this is how this is going to be, I can't keep doing this. And luckily, I somehow figured out that it gets better than that, because it was a fun car otherwise. Fast, super good at flips.
Right. Huh. Right.
So
you look
that's
at it wrong
probably
and
my
it breaks.
biggest. And see, like all the reviews I saw on it. Now, it was somewhat new at the time, but all the reviews I saw on it were good. So that's one of the things where, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff. I'm going to be fair to the car as well, but I'm not going to sugarcoat breakages and things that don't deserve it, because I was watching reviews on that car and they were good reviews. I watched a bunch of reviews on that car and they were all good, and I bought it, and I mean, it was breaking left and right, even when I wasn't just jumping it.
Right. And that's another reason that
Yeah.
started this podcast, is so that people that
Did
are
that
new
all
to the
come
hobby
through? Because I keep
can
getting
see
delays.
how people are that they're going to be getting their reviews from, that they're going to trust about getting said car. Like I said, you, Discipline, Beyond, Phil, those guys that do the reviews like you guys do. Yeah, Rick don't do as hardcore stuff as, say, Discipline and you and Phil. He don't bash them as hard. He tries to take care of his stuff, which I understand that. But he also tells you, look, this is the kind of driving I do. I know there's people out there that are going to break them and bash them harder, but this is my style, so that you'll be able to tell by my style compared to what these other guys are doing, where this car is going to land.
Yep.
Yep. There was I was building up steam on that one.
You did good.
Dang it.
You had something else to say, though. Where'd it go? Where is it at? Bacon and eggs.
You remember the Mary Poppins? And the birds come flying out of the old chimney sweep's ears whenever he gets hit on the head, and that's where it went. You sometimes can hear it. You can hear the Doppler effect. Haha. College word of the day. Doppler effect. Meow. That's the Doppler effect. Uh-oh.
It's gone.
Uh-oh. Somebody really texted me.
Bye, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, what are you doing, bud? You got to take the dogs out? Hey, Jerry, thanks for stopping by. Guys, June 7th, Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to get to see what Jerry's old guy review has coming off in the chats and in his channel and in his RC Alaskan life. And we're going to see, he does Let It Fly on Friday. We're going to do something. I don't know. We'll call it something just, in, oh, hell, I can't even think of them words. Never mind. Don't even remember what I'm just talking about. Just remember Jerry's old guy review, June 7th, Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, you gotta love attention deficit disorder. And then years of illicit drug use. Didn't hurt the brain too much, but it sure as hell didn't help. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jerry. I appreciate you, brother. Be good. Crap. Well,
What happened?
If I remember, I'll ask you, and then I'll record it and I'll add it onto the end of this somehow or something as a short or something. Crap.
All right. Did you
Go ahead.
you know, who? Hold on.
Granny,
So a quick,
I need
a
either
quick
that or
origination
a
story for the Goblinator. So my Rolarlo Omni Terminator is the Goblinator.
Yes.
It's a goblin with a Terminator hand. Cool, right? Yeah. I
Yeah,
thought
hold
of
on,
that
hold on. Let me
myself.
get you on let me get my mouse to work so I can solo you out.
All right.
There you go.
So yeah, the Goblinator. I
That's
paid I paid a guy to make this logo. And it came out exactly how I had it in my mind. It's perfect for what I wanted.
That's badass, dude.
And the reason I came up with Goblin because most of the parts on that truck are green, the upgrade parts. So I paid a guy on Fiverr, whatever it is. And this is the drawing that I gave him. I said I want a goblin with a Terminator hand coming out of a hole, like he ripped through some metal. And
Right.
that's the picture I gave him.
Holy shizzle my dizzle. That's pretty dang close. To be
Right?
able to
So
pull out what he did
terrible
from
drawing.
that's wicked. Yeah.
Yeah, a terrible drawing.
Well, it's actually
and
way better than what mine would look like. That's the reason I was saying that's close, because to me, that's real close.
But still, I mean, and then he comes up with this. He drafts that up.
Yeah,
All right.
that's sweet.
And yeah, and then there were a couple. I had him. He originally came up with this, and I said, "Nah, I don't want his whole body. I just want the head." And then he came up with what you see here, which I had to have him change
It's
some colors
totally
around.
badass. I mean, dude did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
Now, we did
At the
have
same
another
time,
question. 417 RC Basher has a question there for you.
okay, is the
Is the
center diff worth it over the
that
slipper
much
clutch?
better than a slipper clutch?
Yeah. Thanks, RC Granny. Glad you like it. So it depends. Like if you already have whatever V3, is that the Vortex? Whatever it
Yeah,
is.
you talking on the Vortex, or you
If
talking
you already have one,
is the
doesn't really matter
Omni
'cause,
Terminator V3 coming out, or is it a V2 that they're going to count this
I don't
one?
know. I think they had an unofficial V2.
That's what I thought whenever it
They
came out
made,
with all the M2 upgrades and all that
yeah,
that were on it
but
from the factory
yeah,
instead of being
but he's
upgraded.
talking about an Arma.
Oh, okay.
So if you already have one with a slipper clutch, I wouldn't say go buy another Arma, or another Granite or another Vortex. Keep the one you have, and if you ever want to, you can put the center diff in it. Now, is it worth putting the center diff in the if you're asking
place
about
of a slipper?
upgrading the one you already have? My experience was with the Granite, yes. The Granite, it made a massive difference. It was way better. In the Vortex, I didn't notice as much of a difference. So if you have a Vortex, unless the slipper clutch breaks, I would just keep it. In a Granite, it made a difference. And in a Granite, another thing that makes a difference is putting the wide kit from a Typhon on it.
Yeah.
That helped.
Yeah, because the
That
short
helped.
course truck is totally
a lot.
geometrically. I think that's a word. Full send. Tell me if I'm wrong. If I am, different than a buggy. They're short course trucks. They're skinnier, narrower, a little taller. Buggies are wider, a little bit longer, and lower.
Yeah, well,
the geometry is totally different. The amounts that the types and amounts of forces are different, way different compared from a buggy to a short course truck. What I'm trying to get out, I think.
yeah, so it kind of depends on what car you are talking about. If it's a Centon, I don't know. I've never put a center diff in a Centon. The only two I've done that to are the Vortex and the Granite. You know, they're both very similar cars. They have
Yeah.
different tires and they have different suspension and obviously body. And the Vortex, well, now all of them come with durability wise.
Durability wise.
They all now come with the center diff and come with stability control. So to get better durability, yes, probably is worth it.
The center diff's a better is better for durability than a slipper clutch.
Yeah, because
it makes sense.
A slipper clutch is better than having it just full on solid connection.
I'd rather have it solid.
A center clutch is still
I drive different.
Yeah, center clutch, it'll drive different, but a center slipper clutch is going to allow a whole lot more shock and load
to the system. Yeah,
hit the gears, the diffs mainly, and the spur gear and the motor technically. But with a center differential, if you are jumping and you land like this, if you don't have a center diff, all that shock is going through the entire drive line. While if you land like this with a center differential, all of a sudden the front
stops at the center.
But the rear wheels can continue the power transfer for it, even if it's just for a second before those hit. But the thing is, even as soon as it bounces, I mean, all that power can transfer elsewhere if needed, and that helps tremendously, in my opinion, with durability. Not it also depends on how well the car is made, but a center diff is going to help with that.
Okay, now see, that's an opinion that I'd never thought of, because I've always thought of diffs and locking diffs and stuff along the lines of more of how you drive the car, or that style, instead of the car landing and taking the force like that. Because I like a locked rear diff, locked up. I don't want any slip. I don't want that inside wheel turning any faster or any slower than the outside wheel, because I'm used to driving on these old dirt, gravel, hillbilly roads, and I'm used to a two-wheel rear-wheel drive fast car, like a muscle car or a pickup truck. I want that power to come straight whenever I want it, and I want to be able to drive it in and then drive it out, because whenever I'm in the turn, I'm not on the power as much, except for halfway through, halfway and out, compared to a lot of people. The way they drive with center diffs, they hammer down, and they're all the way through giving power, which theoretically it sounds faster.
Yeah,
to me, I mean, it should have worked out to where you're actually making better time than me, because I'm coming in off on. I'm losing time by going off and on, and causing more friction on the car, which will cause you to get slowed down. But slow is fast, fast is slow. But then again, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm new to this shit.
Yeah, shut up. But no, so like, you're right though. Performance wise, if the center differential is super loose, like they didn't put fluid in it, or not thick enough differential fluid, I don't like the way they handle. Sometimes it depends on the car. Like you said, you have a Granite and a Sentin. The Granite, the center diff helped it tremendously in handling as well.
Because it's letting you get all that power where it needs to go through the entire turn and coming down. I understand that.
Well, it's not just that. It allowed it to slide and slip better. The problem with the stock Granite, at least the old version, was that it would traction roll really bad because it's fast, it's high, and it's somewhat narrow.
Okay, and that's whenever it wasn't a slipper shaft or slipper disc or a differential. It was one.
It's a slipper
drive shaft front to back, and the motor had a pinion, and the drive shaft had a spur, basically.
Well, it has a slipper clutch.
Oh, okay. See, that's why I'm asking. I ain't got a clue.
Yeah, it has a slipper clutch, but I think the biggest thing was for the center diff on the Granite. Now I also widened it when I did this project at the same time, but with a center diff, if you start, when you start to traction roll, it's because the inside tires are grabbing, and so you're gonna roll over. But in a center diff, it allows the front or the rear tires to break loose and spin, which is going to help easier, not always, but it helps it break loose easier, which is going to allow it to slide because one set of those tires is likely spinning instead of grabbing into the ground, and it's less likely to traction roll.
I got you.
But again, in the Vortex, it didn't really change as much because the Vortex is sitting lower and has slidier tires. And so the Senton, you have a Senton also, it might be the same. It might not handle as well with a center diff. The thing is, with a center diff is you can always tune it. You can put thicker fluid in it, and you still get those benefits of the durability, but you'll get that more slipper clutch feel. If you're going for wheelies, slipper clutch is a better option, or you can just put super thick fluid in a center diff. So it really just depends, but durability wise, almost always, I think a center diff is better.
Right. See, that's just, I've got totally different style the way I grew up driving, and I never was taught how to drive professionally or correctly. And I don't like having the center diff. I don't like having a center diff or a slipper clutch at all. I like having my power all-wheel drive to all-wheel drive.
Yep.
Because I'm used to the way it pulls. Now, the front diff, I can handle an open diff on the front because, yes, you do, in my opinion, you do need an open diff on the front because of the simple fact the inner tire has to go slower than the outer tire to be able to make a turn. Because if not, you'll do just like this truck right here and plow with locked gears. On a racetrack, you need a little bit. I understand the front doing it, but the center differential and slipper clutch, to me, it never really made sense because I'm used to one-to-one stuff. You got your automatic transmission, you've got your standard transmission. In your standard transmission, there is no give unless you got a crappy clutch or pressure plate or throwout bearing. But torque converter gives you that slip in one-to-one on an automatic. I understand that.
Yeah, it does. Well, unless you have the lock, it depends on where you're at.
I mean, I'm just, an overall very broad term of what I'm talking about, because y'all got to understand that I'm a hillbilly. I take stuff to make it work if I can, and learn a lot of times how stuff don't work because of the way I do it.
Yeah,
guys.
Well, and obviously one-to-one cars, you wouldn't want a slipper clutch in those. Right.
Well, that's where your torque converter per se comes in. It's sort of a slipper clutch.
It is, yeah. And those, I mean, obviously a real car is you put a lot of power in, it's going to, but an RC car is going to handle way different than a real car. It's going to wheelie really, really easily compared to what a real car would do. Especially coming around a turn.
Yeah, whenever you go to scaling down from a one-to-one, it's tremendously different than scaling up from an RC car to a one-to-one, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So
because
an RC,
this car right here and go 24 times bigger than this, exactly like this, 24 times from the 050 motor to whatever. It's not going to be what a one-to-one is. And you take that one-to-one and you scale it down 24 size down to this, and this thing's going to react a heck of a lot different. It's going to have more torquiness. It's going to have more traction or torque twist, traction roll, that type of stuff. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so definitely totally different from a one-to-one because, I mean, you don't technically have a slipper in a one-to-one, even though the torque converter somewhat acts as one.
You do have a limited slipper.
Yeah, so in an RC car,
a locked rear end all the time. I mean, you know, you've got a few, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not equivocable. Ha! There's 3 of them, but that one may not have been used in the correct sentence.
Maybe not.
And I've kept
Don't-
you up long enough. I know you got to work tomorrow, and then you got to play with tiny trucks, and you got 4 of them little trophy seeds running around the house. So hopefully they're in bed by now because it's past their bedtime.
Oh yeah, yeah. They've been in bed since
And
8:30.
you got to deal with Miss Derby RC because I've been cutting into her time with you, and I apologize.
She's
Tell her
asleep. She likes
not to shoot me.
now. She likes reading. Relaxing after the kids go to bed. But
Well,
looks
that's
like,
understandable.
she's in
Having to
bed
deal
now
with
anyway.
deal with everything going through the day at the ages that they are. They're never really a quiet moment. I guarantee it. Oh, and I need to go way back about 2.5 hours. Look, people, this is where I'm going to disagree with all you moms out there and most of you dads. If you are super quiet around babies, you're screwing up. You
Yeah.
need to be loud.
Oh,
You
yeah.
need to be able to live your life. You need to be able to do this. You get the baby used to loud noises, they don't wake up as easy. They don't get mad
Yep.
as easy whenever they are woken up because, I mean, it's
Yep.
going to take something to wake them up. My daughter, from the time that she come out of her mommy's belly and came home from the hospital, sat in her little electric bouncy in the year of this Lord 2000, January 24th, 2000, whenever that kid was born. And the only way that she would go to sleep was either to ride in my 84 F-150 351 with glass packs or my 86 Bronco with glass packs 351 that had been washed out with Crazy Train blaring in the speakers, or sitting in her little bouncy in my little house trailer, sitting 8 feet away from my Kenwood rack system, which had 500 watt 12-inch subs and surround, in her little bouncy with all the highs and mids turned off with just the bass on Crazy Train. She would go to sleep like this. You couldn't wake that kid up. It didn't bother her what if she got woke up because of a loud noise. And I'm not saying that anybody's doing it wrong. I'm just telling you a little bit of tidbit redneck information is let them be around what they're going to be around growing up.
Right.
Because if you
Yeah.
work for a living like me and Evan do construction type work, home remodel, whatever, handyman work, working on tiny trucks, it gets loud. So get them used to it at an early age. I mean, as soon as you bring them little shits home, get them used to it. That way you don't have to tiptoe around them and be quiet. Now, mama, on the other hand, tiptoe around because if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody's happy. But don't worry about the kids. They'll go through it. But yeah.
Yeah.
You got to
They'll
cater to
figure it
mama.
out.
I understand
Yeah,
that.
we made it a point pretty early. Like, our old house, when our younger two, I mean, all 4 of them were born there, but our younger two, I mean, we made it a point to, like, their bedroom was just one room over from our living room, so
Right.
we would watch movies after they went
Yep.
to bed, and we
And-
came up with that idea, like, do not
Yep.
turn the TV down. They need to hear this.
Yep.
So
They
that they're
need to
used
be able
it.
to sleep
And
while there is noise going on. I can
yeah,
fall
and it
asleep
definitely
at a
helped.
rock concert without alcohol
Yeah,
and was sitting in front of
it's
the speaker.
important. You don't want to train their sleeping habits because it will haunt you later.
Yep, because the first little pin drop, if you've got, you got to be quiet, you got to be quiet. The first little pin drop's going, wah, wah.
And squeaky floors. That's the
Oh
big
my
one.
God, dude. I'm with you 100% on that. Yep.
Crazy Train. That's a great song to sleep to. Ozzy,
Yeah,
Ozzy was
she was actually keeping beat in her mother's belly to Crazy Train and Buck Cherry Crazy Bitch from about 6 months into the pregnancy on. My daughter asked me at about 6 or 7 years old, she's like, Dad, why does this song always come to mind? Why do I hear this beat all the time? I said, well, you've liked it ever since before you was born. She's like, huh? I said, yeah, ask your mommy. She'll tell you. I mean, literally, I could put my hand on her mommy's belly and I'd have Crazy Train on and be, dun, 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 dun. I mean,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
That's awesome.
And
That
she's
is
got a love
awesome.
for music, plays 5 or 6 different instruments, can sing. Yeah, and now she's a tow truck driver in Phoenix. Little
Cool.
white, fluffy panty, you know, going to Easter dinner with the black patent leather shoes, going to sunrise service. I'm underneath my 66 F100 whenever they get home, working on it, doing something. Mom let her down out of the car. Next thing I know, wrench, Daddy. I look down,
Yeah.
there's her in her ruffled panties, white Easter Sunday dress, and her patent leather shoes sticking out from underneath my oily butt 66 F100. Mom goes, if it wasn't so cute, I'd be mad. She said, I just paid. I said, I told you not to pay that kind of money for that dress for one time. So
Yeah.
she said, I'm not mad. She said, it's cute. And, you know, that was 2002, 2003. Camera phones weren't that prevalent back in. Oh,
Yeah.
You know, to where, you know, like we are nowadays. Oh, look at that kink. Well, we got recorded. Well, no.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't, but
Yeah.
I ended up getting a dress as a shop rag. Let's put it that way after that day. Worst thing was we still had to go to church. Again, I had to go because, you know, Mom went sunrise service and then they had breakfast in between and then had Sunday morning worship.
Mhm.
Well, there was a good 2-hour span in between. That's, you know, I wasn't going sunrise. I said, heck with it. I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I'll go eat and then go to morning worship. And that's what I was doing. I was doing that real quick before I went and got the shower. And yeah, Mom had to put her in a not so Easter dress to go back to church.
Yeah. First one was oily.
Yeah. It is what it is, you know. It gets in their blood and you just never can get it out, you know. We might turn it from internal combustion to electronic, but, you know, it's still in our blood.
Yep. I know.
Man, I'm going to get ready to come off here. I just wanted to do that, see his face. Just throw him up there on the screen just to watch his fucking face. Like, what the hell, babe? What are you doing that to me for? Thanks, RC Granny. I appreciate it. Alex, you got anything to close out on?
No.
Earl, you got anything? RC Granny? 417 Basher, teacher lady, welder dude, cheeseburger dude, anybody else? Jerry done left, Dungeon done left, Nas, you back yet? Anybody else? Let's see. We didn't have a big chat this week, but it seems that a lot of my podcasts are getting decent views while it's live, but they're coming up in views majorly after they've been posted. And that's what I like about it is, you know, you don't have to be here for the live. Yeah, it's cool to have people here for the live, but you can always watch it at your own leisure. You don't have to sit down and watch it for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a long
one. A left coaster saying this one, folks. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Thank you, Earl. Appreciate that.
I had a great time, Evan.
Yep. Enjoys the
Jason
content.
Earl, that's my northern piney redneck brother. Alex, that's my coon-ass Coloradian brother. Hey, Ugly Brother didn't stop in today. Wonder where he's at. Old sliding sideways scabby scab. Maybe he was one of those that was up here in the numbers, just not in the chat.
He might be on Rock Wolf's live if he's doing anything.
Wait a minute. Oh, it is Saturday, ain't it? That's right.
Yep.
No questions. Just here for the party. Yeah, I'm here for the party. Oh, sorry. I don't do a good Richard Wilson. My bad.
You're welcome, RC Granny. Thanks for being
Yeah,
here.
Granny, I appreciate it. You're welcome very much. Evan, I really appreciate you coming on, and I know that I've aggravated you since I've thought about this, about coming on, and you put up with me on that. I appreciate that. Waffles, he just happened to be on a
Urban
live.
Legend's been asking
I
me
asked if he
too.
wanted to be on my live and come on and be interviewed, and he was like, "Yeah, cool." There's some that I had to work on,
Nice.
but I do know I want to tell everybody that I've got Ian from across the pond. RCOCM is his YouTube and Facebook. He's going to be on the 17th of this month. That's next weekend, right? Make sure so I'm not giving
Yeah.
y'all wrong information, because I've still got to get well, him rescheduled for that, and then Eric Soldering from Team Mofo, he's going to be on one of those days as well. Yes, 17th is next week. And then there probably won't be a podcast on the 24th or the 31st. I've got to work those nights, but if it ends up being a laid back gig, which, oh no, never mind, I forgot. It's two of my good friends growing up, their kids' graduation party. So no, never mind. No podcast on the last 2 weekends of May. So we might do it earlier in the week, maybe. I do have Life of Ballum. I'm trying to get Brett to come on. I am trying working deals with Urban Legend RC. He's a podcast feller from up there in the Northeast that bow hunts.
Yeah, I might be on his one of these days.
Then there's
he's asking me too.
Oh, Rock Rehab. I've got them guys working with them, getting an interview set up. Then like I said, Jerry's Old Guy Review coming up the 7th of next month. Art Park and RC Homesteaders, we're going to be doing the spinoff series of the RC destinations. Yeah, I meant to ask you, Evan, do you know of any places that are RC like destination type places like Beat the Creek or Exoplex or Wreck-It Fest down at Art Park in Georgia, or like Reactive Terrain across the pond? Any places like that? Is there anything out in Kentucky besides Maysville, Beat the Creek?
I don't know. I don't. I haven't really done anything like that yet. So as far as I know, there isn't. I think there's a new like a drift course that opened up recently. Like an
That'd be cool.
indoor. Yeah. I might check that one out here eventually.
Yeah,
but
if you
no,
do,
not much.
we'll hook up and I'll tag along virtually with you, and we'll just I'll do like a let you be my tour guide a little bit as you're going, if you don't care or something. I do want to get with MSM. I want to get with Mark Santa Maria and check out that badass destination place he was at this past weekend. I can't remember the name. It's eluding me at the moment. And I am going to have Exo Cage give me a tour of the Exoplex again, hopefully.
Nice.
Oh, and Walters RC Park in Michigan. I got to get with those guys. Family RC in Michigan and Reaction up there in Michigan as well. And Rock Wolf Designs is also giving me a 2-for-1 podcast because he's going to give me a tour of his course and do an interview all at the same time. So that ought to be pretty fun.
Sweet. You got a tour of my new studio.
Hey, dude,
Pretty
I
excited
love
about
the place. I'll tell you what, you did a lot of good stuff to make it easier to work in, and it's more appealing to the visual side of it too. And I like the logo.
I wanted the logo.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna make it bigger.
That a lot. That's straight up.
Yeah, it took me a long time to design it, even though it's relatively simple. I designed it myself.
Dude, the
simplicity
simplicity sometimes makes it even harder.
Yeah, I know. But I want the green to be lighter. I want it to be a lighter green. But other than that, I think I'm gonna keep it how that is and just make it bigger and you
Yeah.
know, keep it
Let
jagged
me
like that, but
let
on a
you soloed out one more
sleeve.
time on that because I want to look at that a little bit better. Yeah, dude, I like that. I understand on the lightness on the green. I'm with you, but I would keep an outline or a shadow to where it still makes your letters pop out on that white background. But I understand what you're saying about
the
lighter green. Yeah,
like a
I
green
like
shadow,
lighter
like
green.
I have it already, just lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
And then I don't.
huge fluorescent green guy.
I am too. And
Yeah.
I switched this out today. This was it used to be almond colored.
I remember it was different colored. Yeah. It
yeah,
looks awesome, dude. Hey, look there.
now that it's right
There is
behind
the
me.
ugly brother. Sliding
Hey.
sideways did show up. He's like Beetlejuice. Just say his name 3 times. Skibby Skib, Skibby Skib, Skibby Skib. Sorry. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah.
What's up,
But now
bro?
that this is right behind me, I wanted to make it blend in better. And I got
Yeah, I
my
understand that, man. I'll
center
tell you what,
console.
dude. I think you're gonna I just need to
Love
come to Louisville just to drive that one.
Yeah, this is awesome. I like
Yeah.
this a lot.
I really want to go to San Francisco and drive that Focus that Mr. Block drove on that video and shut San Francisco down like he did. And there's no way I could do what he did, but I want to come out over across the bridge, down into the bay, and come out into the docks and do a donut on a barge in a Focus. That'd be awesome.
Probably cost you a couple million to shut the city down.
Hey, look
Have the-
here. We got a Louisville person there. Mr. Dalton
Hey.
McGovney. Oh, hold on. My eyesight is bad. Let me make sure I read that right. McGovney. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was really butchering your name. I apologize, brother. It's because I'm blind.
Looneyville. It's where it's at.
I never, my aunt lived in Louisville. Matter of fact, the tennis court that you were on yesterday in that video,
Yeah. Mhm.
did there used to be apartment complexes right around that tennis court? Like this would be late 90s.
No idea. Those
Okay.
tennis courts were obviously old with how big those fault lines were in it.
Well, see, and it's the right color and the area. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, it looked like where my aunt lived that time that I was in Louisville, because
Really?
that's what I did the whole time there I was there, was rubbing snuff and walking around that tennis court at like 10, 12 years old.
Well, that's yeah. It's a good. That was the first time I'd been there. So
Right, that was a nice court.
yeah,
know
it was a dark green.
You know, I mean, it was good. It was good for what you were wanting, for what you were using it for. Now, if you
Worked
were
good.
trying to play Wimbledon on it, it wouldn't have been good, I don't think.
There was a lot of trippable cracks in there.
Well, I was just thinking of squirrel balls getting hitting the crack the wrong way and going, "Pew." Oh, you
Yeah.
can't see that. Nobody
Well,
can see me going, "Pew." You know why? Because I got you soloed out.
Yes, you do.
But the ball would hit the cracker, "Pew, pew." Like the
funny-
stuff comes in between the squishy stuff between my ears. Sometimes it goes, "Meow."
It's right out of there, in and
Yeah, I'm
out.
telling you.
But
Tried putting a board on this side of it to keep it in. It don't work. Evan, thank you very much, brother. I'll let you go and let you get some rest. And
I'm probably not going to go to sleep yet.
Right. I understand. You know, but you got to have some wifey time. I understand that. She needs some hubby time. You know.
No, she's asleep.
Hi.
That was not Mount Washington. No, it was in Louisville. Indian Trail-ish area. Can't remember. It's right by a park. I can't remember what park.
Dude,
it's called.
Indian Trail.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it's the same tennis court.
It could be.
I have no ifs, ands, buts about it, because
Petersburg Road.
she lived on Indian Trail Road.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do remember that.
Well, I guess it could have been. What's my favorite color? Probably green. Green, black isn't a color, they say, but I like the
It's
color
every
black.
color.
That's right.
And white's not a color either. It's a reflecting of
all the colors or something. Yeah, probably like a green, like the green that I want that to be. The goblin
fluorescent-ish green.
Yeah, fluorescent-y, neon.
Yeah, neon. That's what it is. I call it fluorescent, but it's neon.
It's neon.
Neon
yeah.
green and black are mine.
Mine too. Look at that.
Yeah. Hey, great minds think alike. Yo, hey, hey. Now, one real quick question for me, and this is just because it just popped in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like bourbon?
No,
Being,
I'm not a drinker, really.
right. Well, the reason that I ask is because, being from Kentucky, that's the only place bourbon can truly be made is in Bourbon County, Kentucky. Now, there are some stipulations to that, but Jack Daniels is not a bourbon. It's a whiskey, people. It's a good whiskey, but it's not a bourbon.
We almost moved to Bourbon City instead of here, but because we were
Georgetown or
Bardstown, yeah.
Yeah.
We were looking for a house with a pretty good yard, which we got a half acre, but I really wanted a whole acre.
I was wondering how you got such a big piece of property in town like that.
Yeah, and we got lucky.
Amazing.
We got lucky. We looked for a house. I had a lot of stipulations. That was all me. I had to be able to cater to my business, like have a place in the back where I can keep my truck and some tools and stuff aren't out front. So I had to have that. I had to have a house big enough to be comfortable with 4 kids. I had to have a place to keep my tools and RC stuff. So I have either the space to build a second garage or already have one. So that's this.
Or a big basement or something. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, well, yeah. I kept all my stuff in the basement at my old house, and I hated how I had it set. I even had a walkout basement, and I do here too. But I hated the way it was set up. It was awful. I mean, having to try to carry my table saw through my basement to get out the door.
Dude,
I mean,
100%. I'm with you.
So I specifically needed a big yard for some of those reasons, and I also wanted to be able to drive RCs in my yard. So that if I was just trying, I do a lot of videos. I love Dr. Pepper. Yeah. If I'm
now,
just,
Dalton, that's blasphemy in the South. You don't care about fried chicken, son. There's something wrong. Everybody likes fried chicken. It don't matter if Colonel made it or if Popeyes made it or whatever. If fried chicken.
Yep. KFC, I don't go there very often. I do like their chicken.
I
wanted
KFC,
a big yard.
But I prefer Popeyes or what's that other chicken place?
Chick-fil-A. No, we don't have a whole lot of chicken places here. There's Patty B's in Nashville.
Oh, do you all have Sir Pizza in Louisville?
Sir?
Yes, Sir Pizza.
No. I don't think
If you
so.
don't, you need to go down to Broadway in Lexington off of New Circle, okay? Get off the Route 60 exit on the New Circle, get off the Route 60 exit in Lexington, which is right there at the split of 64 and 75. As soon as you come down 75, get off that exit, go to New Circle Road, hang a right, go to Broadway, make a left. The original Sir Pizza is right there on the right once you get down in there about a block or so. Now, there are other Sir Pizza chains in Lexington that are okay, but you want to get the one from Broadway because that's the original. You want to talk about the best pizza you'll ever eat in your life. I can't say it's New York style. It's sure as hell in Chicago style, but it's a very wonderful blast of flavor in your mouth pizza. I mean, good old school, either Sicilian or Italian real pizza, not Domino's. Puts garlic butter on the fucking crust. Sorry about my language, but and I worked there when they did that, and that was the dumbest thing I ever did. But I'm telling y'all, you need to try it. It's awesome, and you need to try the new Mango Mountain Dew. It's at Little Caesars. Yes, I'm talking about 2 totally different types of pizza in that situation, but you need to go for Mountain Dew.
Nice.
Guys, y'all be good. Keep straight out there. Peace out, Girl Scouts. If I don't see y'all before it rains, you know what to do.
All right. Thanks for joining.